You are now online. There we go. We're alive, and we're doing D&D stuff. And that was a very odd way to open it, but as it always is. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Roundtable. Is the desktop audio working, or are you just all being very quiet? Oh, there we go. Yeah. As you can tell, it is most definitely a Sunday afternoon. And we are ready to dive into tonight's session. But before we do, we always have a few things to go over. Firstly, Arcane Recovery. We're getting very, very close to the launch of that now. Any things you wish to say?
Yeah, make sure that you guys tune in on May 8th for the first session of our Arcane Recovery Season 1 campaign. We're going to be joined by a lot of lovely people, and if you don't tune in and start going to our social medias,
Don't threaten the audience.
I'm not threatening them. I said I'm going to be kind of sad. So make sure that you follow us on our social media, interact with our posts, please, so we can get more reach and we can lure in more people into our little trap. And we keep, just kidding. But you can find us on social medias. It's arcane_recovery on Instagram and Twitter. And you can also check us out at Arcane Recovery Show on YouTube and Twitch as well.
Okay.
So,
and here's put the link tree in chat there, so make sure you check that out. And remember, as Eggy/Elijah, however you want to call him, has said before, if you do not go and follow him on various platforms, he will come around to your house and beat you up.
Yeah,
so,
I will tie your grandma to a train.
I like how Jerry, during the podcast, he was like... he was like...
Yeah.
Anyway, it's always great to start off a session of D&D with threats of tying a grandma to a train. That's how we like it here.
It's not a threat, Spencer, it's a promise.
Don't click that needs the context attached to it. Anyway, as always, a huge thank you to our returning sponsor for the night, Describe, who, as I have essentially turned this little pre-segment into ways I find Describe useful now, I have found another way in which I find Describe useful. And I assume I'll continue finding more, unless I just, stop using Describe, which I won't do because it's an amazing service. Anyway.
That's not a threat or anything.
I was on Describe planning for today's session, and I was making a dungeon. That's not saying you will be in a dungeon, I was kind of planning ahead various different routes. I was thinking, you know what can I put in the next room? I had no idea. So I went onto the list of hundreds of possible locations they have fully planned out and written up. I just scrolled through the list until I found something interesting. I was like, Alchemist's Lair, Decadent Villain's Quarters. I just kept scrolling down until I found something I liked, and you click on, and there's an immediate full description, which you can edit however you want to make it fit perfectly, but most of the time it fits perfectly anyway. So, if you're a DM and you want to reduce your session prep time, hop on over to Describe, where you can use it like that, or you can use it in many, many other ways, because they've got a whole new cartographer section, which comes with fully fleshed out maps with notes and descriptions attached, just like you would find in official D&D sourcebooks. Anyway, head over to describe.com/roundtable and use code roundtable at checkout to get 10% off any subscription you pick, which is a very good deal, especially since they have special offers on at the moment to enter into a prize raffle for a lifetime license of Foundry, some hosting, and Describe, which in my opinion is pretty good. So if you're interested in that, make sure you head over. Right, is it possible for you to put that in chat? Let's finish up with some other stuff. Chat monkey. Right. Apart from that, unless anyone else has anything to say, I believe you're ready to begin.
Please check out Tinker's Tavern on YouTube as well. He's a good friend of ours. And force him to upload if you subscribe to him.
Tell him we want to see more RL Craft, because he's amazing at it.
Yes, we want to see more hardcore RL Craft.
We want to see many streams from him as well, so make sure you hop over to Tinker's Tavern on YouTube and put those messages in his comments. Anyway, is that all? Are we ready to jump into tonight's session? Well,
yeah.
In that case, make sure you have a drink, preferably a cup of tea. Make sure you're sitting comfortably and getting ready for what's going to happen as we jump into tonight's episode of The Roundtable, The Old Man and the Sea. The classic. That has become a musical cue for the start of a session. Anyway.
Endorphins.
So, where we'd left off, you'd achieved victory in the Coventry Yard fighting pits, receiving a prize pot of 8,000 gold pieces, as well as a pair of rather rare and very well made sending stones. You were approached by a possible manager who spoke with a terrible German accent, and then you returned just past midnight for Grey Grumsh for some well-deserved rest. As you return, you all fall asleep quickly, with the exception of Learcas, of course, who stands like an odd sentinel, glaring over your sleeping selves. And you all rest heavily, for a relatively long period of time. The first to awaken naturally, out of the 5 of you, is Lugos. Even with your woodsman-like dead discipline, Lugos, because you are so exhausted, you find yourself sleeping so long, your eyes glance open at just about 10 past 10 in the morning, much later than you would normally awake. Glancing about, you see the rest of your party soundly asleep. There is no sign of Adfir and Zilrona in the room. Their beds are neatly made and gone. You quickly make note of Ulfril, sat in one corner, reading a book, seeming closed off but body language, and just above him you see open windows letting in the morning noise of the Colfort city streets. There's a general din above you, as you can tell there are a number of patrons in the tavern. What do you wish to do? There's probably 5 or 10 minutes you have before the others awake.
I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of naturally from the wake up. I'll go get some breakfast. See what they have available here. If they have anything available here.
So you're going upstairs to get some breakfast. The rest of you will awake soon after that, probably only a few minutes with the activity he makes going up and out of the main doors. So, with nothing pressing for the first time in a long time, well, of course, apart from the whole Oblivion Choir thing, the day is yours. How do you wish to spend it?
Shopping spree.
No.
I'm gonna go talk to Magic Dust.
There you go. Also, how much gold did we all individually get? I wasn't there for this.
I have it all currently.
Ah,
Are you that surprised, Kesha, that Joy has all of the gold?
no, it's okay. It's all good. We're great.
I have the gold and the gold chalices. And I'm gonna see if Magic Dust will take the gold chalices as part of the payment, and I'll bring back whatever's left over for the rest of you all to split.
All right, so are you headed out? Did we notice you heading out, or are you doing this?
I'll probably get up and grab something, maybe like bread or toast or whatever, and just leave.
Okay. Without the rest of the party, just by yourself?
I'll probably leave a note. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, but by myself. And if anyone notices, like, I'll chat with them, but she isn't trying to draw attention at all.
Yeah, because I'd say you all wake up at generally about the same time, within a few minutes of each other. I don't know how long it takes any of you to kind of get prepared to go out on a morning, so I'll leave it up to your discretion if you think anyone else would see you as you're getting your stuff together to leave. So, Maverick and Kishore, as you two awaken, what would you like to spend the morning doing?
Well, I am going to get some breakfast. And do I see Joy's note?
You might see me if you're not, like, dawdling when you're getting your stuff together.
I mean, I'm pretty quick to wake up and stuff, so. You headed out early, Miss Joy?
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Magic Dust. I'll be back shortly.
You want to go by yourself? I mean, none of my business if you do, just asking.
I mean, I would like to speak to him alone.
All right, well, still kind of pseudo-wanted criminals, I think. Maybe. I don't know. If you want to go on your own, that's fine. I just don't want you getting hurt. That's all.
It's really up to you. Like I said, I just want to speak to him alone, but as far as company along the way, I'm not gonna say no.
Well, if you don't mind me tagging along, I'd like to.
Sure.
You want to
Yeah.
talk? Okay. Well, hell, I'll grab my stuff. And he goes and he grabs his stuff. Well, he had most of it, but all right. And off they go, or at least unless anybody else is coming along.
Well, I'd say as you head upstairs to head out, you would probably see the rest of your party in the tavern. Glancing about, it's relatively busy for this orcish tavern, which is never quite massively busy. You reckon there's about eight patrons here, and there's a jolly atmosphere that surrounds you. You see the bartender you spoke to last night is quite busy serving drinks, and as you emerge from a basement, he gives a friendly wave and a nod and goes back to serving. You see a few people sat here, but Joy and Kishore, as you enter, there's one person you notice most of all in this tavern. Sat in a far booth by himself, you see a familiar glint of kind of blue chestplate, as you see a lone tyrannim sat by himself, seemingly eating a stew of sorts, with his sword next to him. So, I'd say you all see each other as you kind of enter this top part of the tavern.
Tyrannim. Just a.
You said he looks familiar?
He looks familiar as in it's odd to see a guardsman in an
Tyrannim?
orcish tavern. Yeah.
Yeah, like, we made one of them retire.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting. I'm not sure if the guy that we made retire was a Tyrannim, though. I think he was just a Colfort guard. Well, I guess, that might be the same thing.
It's I think like yeah, but he's like lower rank.
Yeah.
So he looked basic. Yeah.
So he definitely looks out of place, right?
Yeah.
You'd
think so.
It bother him or anything. Not unless the group decides to get involved. You're just gonna let the guy vibe.
Okay.
I will approach the party though and just kind of let you guys know I'm heading back to the fighting pits to talk to Magic Dust.
Have fun. Be safe. All that.
You look a little worse for wear. Don't worry, we'll be back soon enough.
Oh. Yep. I'll keep the place. I'll keep this seat warm till you get back.
Sounds good.
Right.
Okay.
Off we go.
So, John Shaw into the Colfort city streets once again as Lugos and Maverick have their breakfast. So, I assume you're heading straight to the Countryard Fighting Pits? In that case, I would like you to make just a general perception check as you head through the city to see if anything strikes your interest.
Okay. My character sheet is not updating, so I'm just gonna roll it.
Roll it the old-fashioned way.
I'm gonna continue reading the Blood Forest while I eat.
Okay, yeah. Roll a d20 for me then. Actually, an intelligence check, please. Actually, I'd say that is more
Just
accurate
roll
to
an
your
intelligence check?
speed. Yeah, intelligence check to see how much you get through. Not 20. Okay.
Let's go.
So that is a
12
12 on
for
the
my
perception of the city. There we go. So, Lugos, reading through the Blood Forest, you get a decent chunk of the way through. You seem to have kind of a newfound vigor for reading after everything has gone on, and you begin to quickly flip through the pages. You find a few things that are interesting. First of all, you discovered, last time you kind of read through this, find information about what happened to the forest was to do with almost a ritual that happens from a cult. But you found out that the ritual that occurs is commonly done it can only be done in service to one of two gods. One is the Raven Queen, and the second is Talona. And if it is done in service of Talona, the common cause is to either essentially brainwash someone or plant seeds of evil deep within their kind of psyche.
Okay. Interesting. I definitely have to speak with Leo Koss.
Okay. So, as they're reading for us, join Kishore. You head through Colfort, and as you're glancing about and heading through the city streets, you see there's an odd feel in the air. Colfort has never quite felt like this in the time you've been here, and you see there's the beginnings of bunting being strung from window to window. There's a few kind of half-assembled stalls and various marketplaces as you head through. And most of all, you see various people in the same light blue, quite depressing kind of jumpsuits, going about attending to various workings of the city, make sure everything's clean, make sure it's all presentable, and you assume this is for the celebrations of the following week. Sure, as you enjoy walking through one of the kind of central parks of the city, heading across to the countryside fighting pits, it's a relatively affluent area. There's people around you talking in obviously very fancy Colfort mining clothes. Sure, you notice something odd. You notice, coming down one of the cobbled streets kind of towards you, a beautiful carriage. It's embroidered with gold, and it is led by two huge white horses that are elegant at the same time. You see as the carriage stops, and the driver of the carriage stops down and gets out and opens the carriage door. And someone approaches, well, someone gets out of the carriage. You don't recognize this person, but you see a middle-aged lady, maybe 50 or so years old. But what is so striking about this person is you cannot pinpoint their facial features, in that everything about them seems somewhat shifting and changing, and their eyes, the only way you can describe them is almost two shining emeralds. You kind of glance up at this person, and you see the lady tilts her head at you and Joy, and begins to walk towards you with the carriage driver closing the door behind her. She is probably about 60 feet away, so it'll take her a good 20 seconds to actually get to your position. Anything you wish to do in this 20 seconds?
I just look over at Joy. I'm like, is she coming towards us?
It appears so.
Listen, if you want a duck to go get this done, I can probably handle this. Unless you want to stay here and talk with whoever she is.
I am a little interested.
Alright, I guess we're doing this. I
just
turn towards her and
Yeah.
just take off my hat, because she looks noble.
Yeah, because as soon as you finish saying this, you turn and take off your hat just as she approaches within talking distance. You look, as I said, it's constantly kind of shifting features, you can't really pinpoint it. And this person is wearing a classic kind of Victorian kind of noble dress. Kind of goes down on some very nice footwear as she approaches across the cobbles. She extends a gloved white hand to Shaw as she approaches.
My lady. And he gives a low bow, takes the hand, kisses the back of it. Whole 9 yards. 100% proper.
Oh, thank you. And you see as she turns and nods to Joy. I was just wondering if you could direct me to a fine local establishment, perhaps. You see, I'm new here and I'm just passing through.
I haven't necessarily been to Colfort, but would I remember like one of the nicer ones nearby?
Roll me a wisdom check.
Okay.
Was there a nice establishment by the dwarf that ripped us off?
Yeah, we're not gonna send her to the Grey Grumsh, because fuck that.
Yeah, you haven't exactly stayed anywhere nice so far.
Yeah. Go to the Lemon Underground, they're pretty nice there. That's not bad. That's a 12.
Kishore, I'd say you're very much like Joy, and when walking through the city, your eyes have every so often darted to kind of the poshest places you've seen when walking through kind of the main streets. You've seen one particular establishment known as the what's it called? The Imperial. And the Imperial is kind of one of the fine grand hotels, completely constructed out of white stone and marble. It's really a grand affair.
Fancy.
Yeah, well, it's a little bit rich for my blood. Someone of such a high status as yourself would probably enjoy the imperial. Fine bit of respite, madam. And he holds on that to try and see if he can glean a name.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
Okay, I'm good at those.
Okay, I'm not terrible at those. Let's go.
I'm a bard. I can do persuasion.
I can persuade. Hey.
people.
I don't know how many times I have to tell you this, but I'm a sweet talker. What can I say?
I rolled a 4 and it's a 14. Anyways,
You see, as you say this, there's a very kind of tight smile pulled across her face.
oh boy.
I'm sure we do not need to discuss that.
Yes, ma'am. My apologies. Did not mean to be presumptuous.
Oh, no, it's completely fine. Alright, thank you so much for your advice. Is there anything else I can do for you? And she says that with very kind of weird intonation on the end of it.
They're just like really awkward.
Do I recognize the carriage or what her guard or whatever is wearing?
You don't know.
Okay.
And she kind of catches you, kind of looking at the carriage behind her. He's like, "Oh yes, I do have something to say to you actually." She kind of turns. I just wanted to give my congratulations on your closure. I expect you'll enjoy your trip to the Shikan. And she kind of says, "Oh, sorry, ignore me. When you have a certain point of view, you can't always recall what you said tomorrow or what you're supposed to be saying at present. You know."
Or apologize. Again, I don't mean to be prying, but are you a seer or an oracle of some kind?
I'm sure you could say so, but perhaps of different definitions.
Oh, well, right. Well, thank you.
Oh fuck, she's a Oblivion Choir killer. No, I'm just kidding.
No, shit. I draw my bow.
Point blank.
Yeah. Well, thank you for crossing our paths today.
Oh, no problem at all. And could you direct me to a fine establishment in the city? And she's like, "Oh no, I already said that. I'm very sorry."
Yes.
Again,
It's
gets confusing. Yeah.
That's fine. If you ever need further assistance, we'll be around Colfort for a little bit, and
Right. Yes.
yeah, right. You have a great day, ma'am.
Right. Well, yes. Thank you for all of your help, and I'll see you yesterday. She kind of stands up and begins to walk away towards her carriage.
Okay.
That was fucking weird.
That was really weird. That's
Yeah.
he's fishy, man.
Yeah, I was just like, Kashaw's just gonna like look at his hand, and he shook or kissed the hand of a woman he has no idea who she is, but apparently has time powers? Well, that was an odd intrusion in an otherwise completely enjoyable walk. Do you have any idea who that was?
None.
Do
Yeah.
I have any idea who the fuck that was?
Yeah. that was-
Make a religion check.
Oh no! Bad at that. Except I'm not.
Can I help?
I'd say so. If you kind of brainstorm in this street, like,
Yeah, it's
do
just-
you recognize her?
Alright, I should have rolled.
Aw.
Nope. Not a
Yeah.
goddamn clue.
I'd say Kishore make it with advantage since Joy is helping.
Oh,
And I
okay.
will also give you the option to have double advantage if the party wants to use one of their divine inspirations, which I got last
Divine
session.
inspiration, probably.
Yeah,
This seems important.
this seems pretty important.
Yeah, sure. Roll another history check. We'll use one of our.
That's not bad.
inspirations.
21.
We have
Okay.
one left now.
Do we want to try to go
Well,
for the
do
higher
you have
number?
two? You have two left because the first one was just Joy helping him. So it's up to you if you want to use one of your divine inspirations to try and get higher than a
Let's stick with
17.
21, or do you want to try to aim for?
I think a 21 might be good enough.
All right, we'll stick with 21. We'll save the inspiration.
Okay. 21. That meme just came in my head. That's annoying.
21.
It's a classic. 21.
Sure, if you think back, you've heard stories of... You've heard bardic tellings of stuff like that. In kind of popular culture, as you understand it, there's been a few kind of deities who've always had kind of a human form associated with them. Lady Fate is one such who is always presented as having kind of these emerald green eyes and being...
Oh my god. Like, at that moment, Kashaw's just like, no, that's not... He turns around, is the carriage gone?
The carriage is gone.
He runs his hand through his hair. You don't think that would have been, like, a god, right?
I have no idea. Why would a god talk to us?
Well, if it was, and this is completely hypothetical, if that was the Lady of Fate, or Lady Fate, as she is more colloquially known, if her path is intersecting with ours, does that mean we're destined for great things or really bad things? Oh dear.
Because
I don't know how to.
After you.
Go ahead. No, you're good.
I was gonna say, from what you understand of kind of Lady Fate, you can kind of jump around in time as she pleases, like most gods could.
What's she doing on the prime material, buddy? This is that's a god. Oh no.
Perfectly timed.
Or at least, or at least a god's avatar.
That scared me, man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, I totally, I have the same exact issue, trust me. You hear my dogs go crazy all the time.
Yeah, I have food, so they're right next to me.
They want the nums. It's okay. Well, that's one revelation for today. I suppose you get to earn your other. And if... Well, I guess we know that you're going to get your answers today then.
Or something, yeah, or lead me to have more questions.
That's kind of how fate works, isn't it? Even if you understand it, there's always more before or after, I guess. Well, that's inspiring. I've touched a god today. That sounds like a good title. Shall we keep going?
Are you gonna write a song about this?
I just might. Not every day that a person gets to run in, interact with them. At least, even if it's a tall tale, it's still interesting. Well, madam, and he does this overly ridiculous bow for her as he parades the street in front of them.
Yeah, I'll follow. Kind of a little bit behind.
We continue to the fighting ring.
Okay, so you continue on through more of the parks of Colfort and various streets until you arrive about 20 minutes later at the Coventry Yard fighting pits. You see, it looks much different when it did last night, as in there are no guards at the front. The street itself is packed with some market stalls, people selling hats and fruit and vegetables, and people selling shoes. It's your classic kind of industry market. As people are bustling around, you hear children buying stuff, throwing sweets at each other, and there's one particular vendor of Turkish delights and hard-boiled sweets, which you think smells particularly amazing. As you look down and see the opening to the Countryyard fighting pits is just an iron grating across it. No guards.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll keep walking towards the fighting pits.
Okay. As you arrive kind of upbeat, because it's like an iron gate has been closed across the opening, you can see people, well, you can hear people inside, but it isn't actually open to the public, if that makes sense.
Should we not?
So there's no guards or anything around
There's
it,
no
though?
guards. You can just you can hear people kind of in the lower depths of the place.
How tall is it?
It's essentially just a stone archway with an iron gate set into it, so there's no way kind of over it, if that makes sense.
Is there a vendor nearby?
As in just any vendor whatsoever, or
Yeah,
selling
just
specific goods?
any vendor that's near the entrance.
Yeah, I would say the furthest one, well, the closest one is probably about 15 feet away, but he seems to be engaged in conversation with a large woman with about 12 kids around her, all buying hats.
I'll approach and act interested in the hats and just kind of wait my turn.
As an avid hat man myself, I will start interacting with the children and being like, no, let's see, a hat is a very important thing. And I'll just squat down and real friendly.
Okay, Joey, as you approach the stall, Shaw kind of distracts the ravenous pack of children. You see the man turns. He seems kind of overwhelmed. He's a lanky man who somewhat resembles a praying mantis. And he turns, right, yeah, I'll be with you in just a second. Right, miss, that'll be 4 bob, please. Thank you. Right.
Take your time.
6 hats for 6 bob. Yeah. And he's been shouting stuff up and down the street.
Wait, make that a 7th. This one decided on the Fed. That's very important. That's a good hat.
Of course. And he takes another hat off behind him, throws it to the gaggled kids in front of him. Right. Thanks, miss. Okay, what can I do for you?
I just wanted some information.
Oh. Yeah, that's new information.
Why are the gates closed to the fighting pits? Do you know?
The fighting pits?
Or this archway behind
You mean
us?
the bakery?
Yes.
Well. Huh. Never really thought on it much, but I'd assume it's because the bakery's closed.
Is it always closed this time?
Well, to be fair, it's quite an odd bakery. It only opens about 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind me, I'm just gonna walk right over to the bakery, and I'm going to knock on the iron gated door and just be like, delivery for the bakery?
Some voices stop.
I'll hand the hat vendor a silver piece and follow Kishaw.
Thank you kindly, he says. See, puts it in a pouch, gets to actually selling hats. You walk over to the bakery.
Stop.
And as Shaw, you shout this, you hear boots on flagstones. Joy, you recognize the person who peeps his head around the corner and comes up to collect the so-called delivery. Specifically, he's the guard you last interacted with last night. He walks up to the top and says, "Oh, look who it is."
Well, hello to yourself as well. We have some prime delivery of flowers and such. Would you mind letting us in?
Well, no offense, but I seem to remember last time you were all here, you refused to pay me a guard's fee.
Oh, well, and I put 10 gold in his hand.
Come right in. Unlocks the gate.
Oh, not
Steps back.
this guy again. He's really gonna hold that grudge.
Yeah, so he steps back and it unlocks the iron gate as soon as the gold is in his hand.
But I give him a smile as I walk in.
Didn't we end up giving him? Didn't one of us end up paying him a guard's fee last time?
That
Oh,
was
no, wait,
Lucas, yeah. He
Guys,
paid him
yeah,
quite a
I
bit.
got this. But I smile as I put a hand on his shoulder and I say, friend, I'd really suggest that you stop giving people these fees and give back what you earn. And I cast suggestion on him. Just fuck this guy.
Okay.
DC with 15 wisdom saving throw.
Natural 18.
Ah, well, I guess he knows that I tried to cast a spell on him. I don't care.
We're gonna make him even worse than he already is.
You see as he crosses his arms, he kind of leans back. Well, well, well. If it ain't you magic people coming in and looking down from your little ivory tower. Oh, no, 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 you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Oh, that's all I ever get from you people. You better book your ideas up, you'll be out of fighting pits, never to compete again. I tell you, you're lucky to be here and you're lucky to pay guards fee, otherwise you wouldn't have such top-notch guarding fees, that's what I do for you. Good guards don't come cheap.
You're right, you're absolutely right. I am sorry I offended you, sir.
Oh, I am just more offended that you even tried to cast magic on me. I thought we had some kind of mutual understanding.
I think we do.
Well, obviously we don't, because you tried to catch magic on me.
You use your skills to defend this position as best as possible. I use my skills to persuade people of the fairer ideas. It's perfectly understandable. Listen, here, another 10 gold for your I just hand him another 10 gold. I don't care. I don't use money. I don't care.
You see as he extends his hand, receives a gold, but he says, "Ooh, are you sure this is gold? Is it just another one of your fancy magic tricks?" Takes it.
I mean, I can
You
make
should
it.
be like, all right, if you don't want it to be, if you don't think if you think it's a magic trick, I'll just take it back.
Yeah.
I know you probably don't feel it yourself, but I have instant regret for you for giving him more gold.
That's fine. All right. Well, we have important business meetings as the champions of this here establishment. Now you just keep on with your son, and I pat him on the shoulder and walk past him.
What? He just kind of stops. And you hear a kind of clinking behind you. He seems to be counting his gold, and you hear him say, "Ooh, not an illusion." Anyway, you head in. Not an illusion. You head into the main part of the courtyard fighting pits. You see it's pretty much empty.
I feel like he wouldn't even be fully satisfied if we gave him all of our gold.
Oh no. He hates us.
And that's okay.
You see it's pretty much empty down here. There's maybe 12 to 15 people in here just out of a bar drinking. It seems most of these are staff members. And you actually see Magic Dust is kind of sat by himself with a group of 5 or 6 around him. It seems to be... Magic Dust isn't really talking, he's kind of meditating, the others are just talking around him. You see the main arena, it's completely empty, and you see it looks to have been cleaned pretty thoroughly. There's lots of buckets full of red water around, lots of mops filled with blood. It's just stuck against every corner. But for the most part, it seems empty, and immediately as you head down, a few people turn. He goes, the first person you actually recognize down here is a man with kind of slicked back hair. You recognize him last night as one of the agents who tried to attempted to recruit you. You see, he turns and he goes, "Ah, it is very good to see you are back. I trust that you have not come for me."
That would be correct.
Ah, yes. Well, of course. Who are you here to see? You know, it normally isn't open to civilians down here.
We're here to... Well, I'm here to chat with Magic Dust.
Oh. You must have a lot of coin or a lot of guts on you to talk with Magic Dust. And what about you, my... He kind of just glances Kishore up and down. My, hat-wearing friend.
I am simply a purveyor and an escort for the fine lady here. Won't mind my presence.
No, of course. Can I interest you in a biscuit? He says the sound of a biscuit in it.
Certainly. What kind of delicacy? Where does this come from? Take the biscuit.
Okay, there. Comes from a bakery here. Chocolate chip.
I eat the chocolate chip biscuit.
It's a good chocolate chip biscuit.
Oh hell yeah, gamer, let's go.
It's pretty good.
Yes, the bakery here is very good. You know, if you would like some more chocolate chip biscuits, I'm sure they can make some to order. Speaking of making things to order, if you wish to talk to us more about the possible management plan, we just take 10% of your earnings to do branding, merchandising, all the stuff one hero could possibly need. Make sure you come visit us.
You certainly. I do appreciate that, and as the promoter of the Radiant Resistance, that is the name we still stuck with, right? I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. As the promoter of the Radiant Resistance, about such opportunities as they. For the time being, we're kind of keeping it down low.
Wait. You say that, but how about this? You see as he reaches into a pouch on his jacket and he brings out a small paper bag. He opens it and he puts onto the ground, or onto a table, a handful of hard-boiled sweets in kind of golds and blues. And he's like, look, we have taken the liberty of making some concept candy for supporters, even in the colors of your magic. We decided not to do any sweets for your friend with the elf. He seems a bit too dark for the younger audiences.
This is a fight club. What kind of younger audience are you talking?
Well, on the weekends there is often more family-friendly events in here. Non-lethal fights.
Alright, well, I'll think about it. I'll get back to you on that. How does that sound?
Yes, of course. Enjoy your talk with Magic Dust. You too. He steps back.
Thank you.
I
Right.
motion.
And you're heading over straight to talk with Magic Dust and his group, I assume.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to do it pretty cautiously because I don't really want to interrupt if it seems serious as we approach.
You kind of head over and you see the people he surrounds himself with all wear matching purple robes. One particular one is a large Goliath with a heavy-looking axe next to a table. And as you approach, he seems to be in the middle of telling a story and drinking, even though it's only about 11 in the morning. And as he's saying this, everyone else turns but him as you approach and glances their heads towards you. He is obviously the last one to notice as you approach. He's just there like, oh, and then what we did is we took the axe right into his neck. Oh, you should have seen how we fell backwards. Oh, who are you?
We are here to speak with your fine friend here. Miss Joy has accrued enough gold to be able to get some answers, we feel.
Oh, he likes gold. Hey, Dusty. He turns and he lets out a hard punch into the shoulder of Magic Dust, whose eyes immediately flicker open. I told you not to do that. Oh, hello. You're back.
Yes, I took your advice. I've come with enough gold this time.
Oh, you want me to do a reading now? Right.
Is there a better time that works for you? I don't want to interrupt.
No, it's fine. I can work at any time. Come with me to my tent. And you see as he stands up with a heavy creak as his aged feline figure kind of wearily stands up from a desk, begins to head towards his tent that he has set up.
And at that point, I'm just gonna be like, I give Joy a nod, and I guess I pal around with the 5 guys that he was.
Okay. So
Yeah,
Joy,
I'll nod and smile and say thank you to Kashaw and follow Magic Dust.
Give a wink and a hat tilt.
Milady.
Motherfucker.
Milady. Motherfucker.
I'm sorry, I can't resist.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's more classy than that. It's the Western one.
No, I know the cadence of
Yeah.
Kashaw is much different.
Mick fucker.
Anyways, now's the time where I mute myself so Joy can have. Let's
Yeah.
go!
Go on.
Okay. So, Joy, you follow Magic Dust to his tent, and he immediately draws open the doors and enters. And the first thing you notice here is it's bitingly cold. So the first thing he does is he heads over and lights the braziers in here very quickly, and they sparkle up. And you see as he kind of steps to one side over a small fire. Would you care for some herbal tea?
I would love some. Thank you.
And he begins to throw some ingredients in a pot, and leaves the pot to kind of stew as he heads towards the center table. Please sit.
Yeah, I sit where he motioned.
You see as you sit down, his 2 orange tiger-like eyes just kind of stare into you for at least 5 seconds before he says, "What is it you require of me this time?"
It's the same question I had before. I'm looking for information on my parents, my family. I know it was 20 years ago, but anything that you're able to see is appreciated.
I can show you who killed them.
Yeah.
It's doable, but it is costly, as one may imagine.
How much? Like, are we still talking about the 10,000 gold, correct?
His head kind of tilts.
I would say, since you are a returning customer, I can do 8,500.
That is perfect. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Do you by chance have any interest in gold chalices? Or would you just prefer straight gold?
I go as a general rule, I always prefer straight gold, but I am never to say no to a new drinking apparatus.
And there's a
Yes.
Clang, 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 clang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about some really pimp,
They're real pimp chalices. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So I'll just kind of set out the 6 chalices in front of me and just. And then the rest of the gold kind of next to it. So
8,000 gold and 2 chalices. That is the offer I will do you.
8,000 and 2 chalices?
Yes.
Well, I guess we have to liquidate the other ones ourselves.
Sure. Yeah, that is fine with me.
And just so you strike this steel, and there's an immediate kind of from the other side of the room as the kettle the kettle begins to steam, and he's like,
Ah, the tea is ready. Put those chalices better on the table.
he goes, gets it, and you see as he takes either chalice with his giant tiger-like paws and pours the herbal tea into the chalices.
Ah, they are good drinking apparatus. Where did you get these from? They're not old, are they?
Where did we find these?
We found those in the dragon's lair. Like the rot dragon.
Yeah.
So I mean, just don't tell him.
Oh, we were.
Or maybe he'll think it's cool if it's from a dragon's lair.
Right, yeah. We came upon a dragon's horde, and these were a part of it.
He lifts the cup to his nose and gives it a deep sniff. And you know how a cat drinks milk? His tongue kind of darts out and it got...
Oh, like laps it up, yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad for what I was expecting.
It's some tail.
Oh. Payment is done. I'm sure we can get started. You are trying to find someone responsible for a murder, so I assume your plan here is vengeance, yes?
Yes.
Oh, I have to give a quick disclaimer to retain my moral ambiguity. Vengeance will not lead you anywhere good. You will not get a happy ending from vengeance. You will die a painful death from vengeance, actually. But if you want to know who it is, maybe you can then forgive and forget, and go about your way. But I will not tell you how to live your life. Good endings do not come from doing bad things.
Oh my god. What is wrong with you lately? I am this close. You have no idea what she did yesterday. I almost killed her.
Oh my god.
Not really, but I had a almost full cup of grape juice.
Oh, no.
And she shoved it off of my desk and spilled it all over my carpet.
Oh no. Oh no.
Thermoses with lids with the flip up sippy part from now on.
Yeah, from now on, absolutely. I can't
water
trust
bottles.
her.
Yep. Workout water bottles only.
Yeah.
And then
I have it too.
take the cat. Listen here, you little shit.
It's right here. I have that. I haven't used it in a bit, though. I haven't poured something in a while.
Well,
That just pains me, having like grape juice all over your car. Oh no, it's
It was
awful.
horrible. I used so much water. I used like baking soda. I used.
Did you
also
try by a
suckers.
cat just to whack the cat against the carpet, see if that's anything?
I had to show her what she did. Obviously, she understands, but
enough.
no, there's still a slight stain there. I did a lot of scrubbing and stuff. See what I can. I'm gonna get carpet cleaner later today.
Anyway, speaking of cats we hate.
spray it with vinegar, diluted vinegar, and water.
Yeah.
Let it soak, and then baking soda over it and vacuum it up.
Yes,
Joy,
sir.
you see as a feline in front of you gets a small bowl and slides it across the table towards you, and a small, very small knife as well. It could almost fit in the palm of your hand.
Some blood is required.
Naturally. I'll pick up the knife and I guess slice the palm of my hand.
Well, more blood than I was expecting, but
How
isn't that never a
much-
bad thing?
Oh, she's a bleeder.
Yeah, how much are you wanting?
I really just needed a speck. You've given me more of a full bowl there.
He slides it across the table towards him.
You see, the funny thing about the tiefling blood, it reacts very differently to what other races do. It's for demonic heritage, have different substances, we think. It means it's always more expensive to deal with because you have to use different stuff. Exquisite stuff.
And you see as he gets
Naturally.
various herbs and spices on the table and begins to mix stuff together.
Well, you see, last time I did one of these enchantments with you, we had possessions, which meant you could simply turn it into a wax ball and make the fumes. Fortunately, with this, it is much less potent, so you have to drink the mix.
I do have like family heirlooms, but that's about it.
Yes, but unfortunately, you have none that belong to the killer.
Correct. Yeah.
Do you want it warm or cold?
You look, it seems to be a mix of like saffron, a tiny bit of your blood, some wine. It's not a nice mix.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
I can put a dash of herbal tea in if you would like.
Sure, why not?
He slides it across the table towards you.
Again, as I said, mercy, forgiveness, these are the paths that lead to happiness. Just something I like to remember.
I'm gonna pick it up and sniff it. What does it smell like?
It's, you've noticed it's turned kind of a color of India ink, and smells roughly like turpentine.
Yum. How much of the substance is there?
It's probably a good 200 milliliters or so. So, like
Almost
a
a
quarter
cup,
of a bowl,
right?
yeah.
Damn it, thank you. Okay, yeah, I guess I'll just try and chug it as
Okay.
quickly as possible.
Make me a constitution saving throw as well as you do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
Vomits all over magic dust.
probably.
So you got 1 cup of this. That's a whole measuring cup of this.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
That's what that. Do we want to
That's-
use that divine inspiration now, or
I mean, we got
Well-
one more left, right?
yeah?
It
Oh, we didn't
depends.
use it earlier.
Oh, we didn't use. Oh, you guys didn't use it earlier. I mean,
It's-
yeah,
it's really up to
absolutely.
you.
If you wanna use the divine inspiration, if you need. No, I don't care.
I
Yeah,
don't.
it's
Yeah,
really up to you.
I'm using it. See if I can
In
get
fact,
my.
I'm trying to get rid of
16.
him.
There we go. All right.
16. Okay. You
Thank
kind of
you.
you stomach it down for a second, and it almost comes back up, but you kind of hold against it and swallow it. And there's a second where you think he may have scammed you because you kind of sit there, you don't feel nothing, you don't feel anything at all, really. And then an odd feeling starts to come over you, like everything about you is shaking violently, and then your vision goes completely black, and so does every other one of your senses. And as your vision turns black, there's a familiar sweet smell of the sea. You were born in Heatguard, you're familiar with what the southern seas smell like. And you recognize this sweet smell around you. As colours fill your field of view, your eyes take a minute to focus on the blinding light as you feel your feet rocking below you. You look around, you're standing on a small fishing vessel. You seem to be heading into port, and speaking of which, the sea around you is a beautiful turquoise colour, and it's the glassiest sea you've ever seen. It's beautifully calm, and it reflects all light that comes to it. But every so often, as this small boat goes over waves, you catch a glimpse of rainbow colours beneath the waves as coral upon coral just lies along the ocean floor, as many beautiful fish as you could possibly think. You glance forward to a bow of fishing boat and you see the port you are heading to. It's a beautiful town built upon the slopes of a tropical island. Just behind it, a setting orange sun sending light shimmering across the water, enhancing the glassy effect. And as you're kind of glancing about this boat you find yourself on, you look, and you hear a grunt behind you. Turning, you see a haggard man with deep wrinkles and faded eyes, and he's dragging an empty fishing net across the deck to the bow of the boat. He heaves it forward and sets it down and takes a moment to himself, and he admires the sunset before stepping back, and he seems to hobble through you almost as if he's completely unaware of your kind of spectral presence. And you hear him speaking to himself under his breath, and he's like,
"Odds, another day with no fish."
He takes a quick swig from a hip flask, and begins to shorten a single sail on the boat as he heads back. The boat skims across the water back into shore, and as this happens, your vision once again turns black, and as you open your eyes, you find yourself back in the room of magic dust.
Did you see, were you able to see what I was looking at?
No, I did not drink it.
Is that's the person that set fire to the house?
Oh, my enchantments never fail. So yes, it must be.
Did I recognize this city at all?
I'd make an intelligence check for me.
Oh, there it is.
I went to go feed my cat. What can I get an update on what Joy saw?
A small fishing boat with a relatively old man, just out fishing on water in a beautiful tropical island.
The old man in the sea.
Ah, I see. Okay. I see.
Intelligence check of 21. You do recognize this place. It's a small island about 200 miles north of Heatguard, where you grew up, and it's called Shikarn. And it rings a bell in your head because that's where Lady Fate mentioned when you talked to her this morning.
Oh, snap.
Oh. Yeah, she's just kind of stunned and confused.
Well, if that would be all, and you would not like more herbal tea, I'm going to go back to my friends now.
Of course. Thank you for your time.
No problem at all. Hope you got what you wanted.
It stands up
yeah.
and heads out of a tent, leaving you alone with half a cup of herbal tea.
I'll kind of gather my thoughts, finish the herbal tea to try and get the other nastiness out of my mouth, and probably after 5 to 10 minutes, I'll head out as well.
Okay.
So after throwing his axe at this thing like 5 or 6 times, it was absolutely insane, the serpent slay, and he's just going on a whole tangent about...
the Tales of Garcus.
Yeah, the tales of...
The Tales of Garcus, he's doing it.
He's doing it. He's telling the tales.
Mm-hmm.
His name would be renowned as the Serpent Slayer throughout all of Coldfort by the time we're done here.
You're goddamn
Yes,
right.
for our dear friend that may have been possibly killed.
We don't
But
know.
you don't know
don't
that.
We
You
don't
think he's
know.
completely
We
fine.
don't know that. I know. But he, Hector had to spill out all that non-leader blood apparently.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what you find Cashaw doing as you come back.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, as I approach, I'll just try and make eye contact with you and nod, but not interrupt your storytelling. Just kind of wait on the edge of the little crowd you've gathered, I'm sure.
And as I was just like, and then as the dragon finally reared its head deep into those deep, black, murky waters, that's where we'll pick up next time. If you gentlemen would like to hear a little bit more, I'd always appreciate it.
Such a fucking dungeon master move.
Roll, actually just a general charisma check for me.
Okay. Oh shit. Oh god.
I should have got the sandwich toasted, and I kind of regret that I didn't.
Oh, dude, always get it
Always get it toasted.
Always.
I know, but I didn't go get the food. I gave my
Shame.
roommate my
Ding, ding, ding.
card.
Shame. Ding, ding, ding.
Jesus.
I'm just like,
That's
hey,
a
it is
dark
a cold cut, mostly sandwich. I'm like, I don't
No. Even cold cuts toasted are.
Yeah, get
I
cold cuts
toast
toasted.
everything.
Dude,
I
cold
toast
cuts toasted is divine.
Is the
Sorry, yeah.
charisma roll? Because
They
I
hit
know it
different.
sometimes doesn't work through the character sheet very well.
Yeah, no, I know. It's not, so hold on.
Yeah.
Just say you got an 18. And it's fine.
I mean, I could, but that wouldn't be true.
That wouldn't be true.
Except
It was a 19.
It's pretty close.
Imagine if it was though an 18. And I'm just like,
What is this
Kishore,
power?
as you finish the story, the largest Goliath there stands up, slams his fist on the table and says, "No, I want to hear more about Dragon. This time next week, you're gonna be here, little man. You're gonna finish story."
And I will. You're right. I will be happy to oblige. I am a champion, and keep in mind the Radiant Resistance will be making periodic appearances now and again. I'm happy to the rest of this story.
Look at that, Kashaw got his first toxic fan.
yeah.
You see, as the Goliath kind of approaches you, and he kind of tries to ruffle your hair as he would do a child. He kind of actually tries to take your hat to one side and ruffle your hair.
Thanks.
I like your stories.
And I appreciate a person who enjoys good storytelling. But, like I said, it wouldn't be a very good story if I got right to the end of it right and quick.
I disagree, but that's your opinion.
It's more about the journey, friend. Trust me. The build-up's very important. Anyways, I give him a slap on his probably much larger than my head bicep and hop off the table. I stretch, I
Okay.
put my hat back on. Find what you're looking for, Madam Joy.
I think so.
Ah, good. Well, gentlemen, you have a wonderful day. We have business to attend to. And I motion for the door if she wants.
Yeah, no, I heading out of there.
Okay.
Oh, quick question, Mr. Goliath.
Yeah.
That guard, you know him up in front?
Yeah.
Was giving me a real hard time about my storytelling. Just thought you might be interested in knowing that.
Oh no.
Yeah, you
Oh,
want me
no.
to, rough him up a bit?
Yeah, whatever you deem is necessary, just, not too bad. And I give him a smile, and
So,
I walk
like-
off.
Are we talking one limb or two limb? As he shouts as he walks away from you.
Your discretion, friend. I smile as I keep walking, put
Tell
my
him,
hands in my
okay.
pockets.
Kasha, Jesus.
I
Turning
can't
into
get
a-
rid of my rogue ways, man. I'm sorry.
He's
Can't help.
turning it into a goddamn criminal enterprise. Already hiring assassins to do hits in his vacancies.
I don't even have to
Assassins.
pay him, and he'll pay me to do it. It's gonna be great. Anyways,
Bards are just rogues that can play instruments and sing.
correct.
Yeah.
Which makes them even better spies than rogues. All right. So as we get to the door, I open it for Joy.
Thank you. And she'll walk through.
As
I
soon
look at the guard.
as you walk, yeah, you just kind of looks and says, "Ooh, look who it is."
And don't you worry, friend. I'm sure you have exactly what is coming to you. You have a great day now. And I close the door and I walk
What's that
out.
supposed to mean?
Riches beyond your wildest dreams, friend. Don't you worry. Way.
Yeah, I'll smile at the guard.
Jesus.
Yeah, so you head out onto the streets. You see the market still in full swing around you, but Joy, is it safe to say you have kind of a somber attitude about you, or are you kind of trying to hide it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not really focused on what's going on around us at all, and just heading back to try and join up with the rest of the group.
I stop by a bit of one of the stands. I grab a little bit of Turkish Delight. I don't know how much that's gonna cost. I don't care.
2 copper pieces, yeah.
Yeah, easy. I can 2 copper pieces. I walk over to Joy as it's kind of like finger food. I hold the little basket out to her. Looking a little sad there. Can't help a lady who looks sad.
Sure, thank you. I'll grab a piece or 2.
Well, I'm not so unwise as to ask, because this is your personal business. But, I was wondering if maybe you'd be willing to help me out with something.
Yeah. What is it?
This is something I'm gonna bring up to the group, but you specifically might be of the most importance for this. I have something that I need to get back from someone. And I might not exactly be able to do that legally. I was wondering if you'd be able to help me with that.
Yeah. Where exactly will this lead us? Is this in Colfort, or?
No, it's a bit out of the ways. There's gonna be a little bit of a concert that's gonna be happening in a week or so. I need to mosey my way on to it to get what is mine properly. I promise it's not just selfish. It'll help all of us if I can get it back. A bard is only as powerful as his performances, or their performances. And what I've got here, and he motions to his lute, his guitar, it's good. It does a job, and I'm able to get a crowd. There's something in particular that I had that I just can't tap into the same power like I used to. If I had it, I'm sure I'd be much more useful than I already am.
What is it?
Hard to say. I had a friend. He was real smart, real capable with magics. He kind of made a bit of a part and present for me. I ended up wandering, but unfortunately I wasn't able to keep possession of it. So I'd like it back. I really, really would. It's a personal piece. It's an instrument of mine. If I had it, I'd be a much more capable performer than I already am.
Yeah, that's fine. I owe you all for the gold anyway.
Well, I appreciate it. I'll bring it up to the group, as I said, but you're rather capable at getting things, acquiring things that should not normally be acquired. I feel like your skill set would be particularly happenstance if things don't go the way I think they will.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm happy to help.
Thanks, Joy. I appreciate it.
Do you have any idea what the others are going to want to do? I know Lugos had some sort of vision, I believe, with magic dust.
Right. I wanted to bring this up to you because if it comes down to it, I wouldn't mind just doing this with you, but I would like to involve a group because I know I don't like to ask people for much. I'm more of a, I like to help and I like to give as opposed to receive, but I would be much more useful for everyone if I could get this thing back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfectly okay with me.
Alright. Well, let's head back and tell the group how we met fate.
Which direction is this going to take us in?
Lance?
It's actually in Coldfort. From kind of posters you've seen around the city, it's at a theatre called the Barbican Theatre, and it's in about 5 days' time. The full celebrations in the city start in 4 days' time, but it's the second day of celebrations.
How do I pronounce the small island that's off the card?
How do you pronounce it or spell it, sorry?
Either.
It's like,
Both.
it's SHIKHAN.
And how do you... is Shikam?
Yeah, just like Shikan.
Okay.
Okay. Joy, I will say, on my way back, as you are walking ashore and finishing off your Turkish delights, as you pass a hand over your pockets, you realise there's actually something in there that wasn't in there when you went to see magic dust. I think it's been slipped into your pockets, and taking it out, you see 3 tarot cards. One of them, they each mean different things, and weirdly enough, they've actually been marked with what they mean on there. And atop of the first card you see, there's just a name. Well, there's a small phrase written on it. You assume it's by magic dust, and it says, "For your elf friend." This it says, "For your elf friend, this is what he's searching for." The first tarot card says worship. The second one says dust. And the third one says east. And you get the sense that whatever he is looking for fits all those criteria. Place of worship, dust, and decay, and east somewhere. It has been slipped into your pocket whilst you were there.
Okay. I will not mention anything on our walk.
Okay, so soon enough, you make it back to the Grey Grumsh. And can I ask what Lugos and Maverick would be doing in the time? Just eating breakfast, talking, or they've been gone about half an hour, 45 minutes.
I think while reading the Blood Forest, I'll bring up the parallels with the worship of Talona and stuff like that in the book. I'll kind of point it out to Maverick occasionally while I read it.
I look over my shoulder a few times, make sure Leah Cass isn't spying on us. And you said you found Leah Cass in this forest with you. You said you found each other while you were trying to get out of this place.
Right, everything inside this book points exactly to what happened that night.
And now
it's word for word.
We have gibberish coming from Leah Cass about Talona and that kind of garbage.
Exactly.
Do you think he was afflicted by something in that forest and came out a different person?
I think that it mentions a brainwashing. I'm not sure if he escaped from this ritual of sorts 100% himself.
He doesn't sleep anymore.
Aye. Something's wrong with him. This book right here, it's more than a work of fiction, it's something else.
Mind if I give it a skim through?
Oh, sure, go for it. I hand the book over to Maverick.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll just give a base intelligence roll
Yeah.
or an insight.
I'd
See
say
if I can read into any parallels with what he's saying with what maybe some riddles or paraphrases or old.
Go ahead in that case. I will say,
folklore.
obviously, Lugas has an intelligence of 10, so perfectly average. Maverick, with intelligence of 9, this book is very old, and you can tell that from the way it is kind of penned and written. So you do have a bit of a hard time with the book. It isn't really, you never pin yourself so much of a reader. So it's like, well, it's like, that word means this. This means... Yeah, sure, go ahead.
It's alright. It's alright, Maverick. This means this. That's when you're happy.
I have the intelligence of a high school graduate, not a high school dropout. Okay.
Roll insight with advantage for me. Because although the text is tricky, Maverick is... Yeah.
As soon as you sound out a word, you know, Lugas will give a clap like, very good.
I just give a glare.
I'm just kidding.
14 on an intelligence.
14. Can I ask what specifically you are looking for?
I'm looking for parallels specifically between Leocas's behavior and old riddle-like sayings, or any like cryptic messages. It's anything that looks like a cryptic message in this book, matching Leocas's behavior.
With a 14, I'd say you don't find much that Lugas didn't already find. The only kind of odd thing you see is there's a mention of kind of gifted weapons to chosen champions of these rituals when they've kind of reached a sufficient power level. And the further they kind of grow in power, the more likely they're either going to fall deeper into kind of a spiral of, you know, being a crux of one of these gods, or if they turn good, the more powerful they'll be. But it's kind of a whole reverse process to get those seeds of evil out of someone's head. And that's in the sequel.
Seems that those that are gifted get a weapon as some sort of reward.
Did you say there's a sequel to this book?
Where you find out how to reverse the curse.
Interesting. Oh, was there a mention of a weapon that you said?
Right. Apparently they're gifted as some sort of reward for one's strength that's afflicted by these conditions.
Oh, what about that fancy spear he got lately? That makes sense, right? Is that his little fancy...
Yeah, I've never seen him use a spear before then.
Exactly, right?
It looked like he wasn't quite used to using it.
Alright, well, we gotta get to the bottom of this eventually, right? I knew that this book was a good investment. It's leading directly where I wanted to.
As you kind of have this conversation, someone sits down directly next to you with a heavy...
I close the book extremely fast, and snatch it away from Maverick.
Well, lads, you wouldn't happen to know anything about Helltrain Prison, would you?
You
Is
turn.
this the Tyrannum guard?
It is the Tyrannum who is sat by himself.
Okay.
You see he has kind of long black hair and a large beard, but he looks still relatively young. He seems to be on a little case by himself.
Tyrannum guard, huh? That's about Hellchain. Boy, Hellchain. Well, it's a prison here, right?
Yeah. I don't suppose you happen to have any dealings with Helltrain or have been there in the past few weeks?
No.
Well, shit, I haven't even been arrested for picking up a gold piece off the street, let alone anything that'll warrant going to Hellchain, God forbid.
Right, yeah.
roll deception.
Okay.
I'm gonna say just
Can,
one of you do it. Who you think is kind of leading the conversation, and do that with. You can use help action if you so wish.
I'll charisma cast this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have good deception. I have a -1, so.
So I will roll with advantage with the help action, I suppose. Well, that's a modded 19 for the first roll, but
Okay.
let's see if it gets better. No, we'll take the modded 19.
119. Okay.
Yep.
You see as his eyes kind of close and squint slightly. Well, you see, thing is, lads, we've got some proof you were there. And if you don't admit it now, in about 5 minutes there's going to be a 2 dozen Tyrannum in this room, destroying this little bartender's very nice tavern he's built and taking you off to rot in a dungeon. So I think it's
But
better.
hypothetically, if we were to admit
Can
it
I
right
can
now,
I
what would
insight
happen?
to see if he's just bluffing about the 2 dozen Tyrannum thing?
Roll insight.
I'll roll inside too.
15.
15.
2 15s.
Yep.
You both think there's something fishy about this.
And hypothetically,
So,
to humor you, if we did admit to whatever you're accusing us of, what would happen then?
Well, I'll take you peacefully and have a much nicer sentence.
Something tells me that you're not a typical guard. So what are you doing here? What's the real reason? Is this your health chain? Something a little fishy about this. It doesn't smell right. I start like looking around the room.
No, I'm just here to make sure people who broke a convict out and killed a guard in doing so don't get away too lightly.
Did we end up killing a guard? Did we kill a guard at all?
Nope,
Nope.
not us. It is not
didn't kill
us.
a
Not
single
up. We
person.
didn't do it. We
It
did
was-
actually. We would have no knowledge of any of our friends killing anybody
It
because
was
that happened off
technically
screen.
Zilrona because Shaw was trying to charm him. I think it
So
failed.
we
she
never
killed
committed
him.
murder, and that is not a lie. So we wouldn't even know that Zerona or Kashaw were even instruments in a murder. So we can't even lie about this.
True.
I'm not affiliated with any kind of murder. I don't kill people.
I don't like these accusations that you're shouting at us. Are you really thinking that we're killers or something? That makes me sick.
Well, if you want to go on denying and denying all the way to court, you can do. Is that what you wish?
I'm gonna be that guy and be like, "Do you have a warrant?" Seems kind of just
I mean, are you
seems
even
very,
here
too
on-
much accusatory off of just saying that we did something when we haven't. So
Why? You're not even here on official business, are you? Does your superior know that you're here?
In a way.
Well, I don't like that answer, so I think you can fuck off. And we're
I
going to
think
finish.
it serves your best interests to talk to me for a bit longer.
All right, why is that? Keep
See,
talking.
All for it's a big place. You've come in here and you've made quite a name for yourself in just a few days. Winning the fighting pits, breaking people out of Hell Chain, and completely reshuffling the entire leadership of the Lemon Underground.
that seems very damn near impossible for us to be in 3 places at once within such a short period of time. Are you sure you're not mistaking us for anybody else?
You see, the funny thing about that is, you didn't have to directly orchestrate these 3 events, but just what you do causes the dominoes to fall in place. And you've created a whole new fever about this so-called Oblivion Choir, and we've now had a mad mage burst into the Northern Parliament in the high tier, claiming there's some dark threat.
Is he a drunk individual with a moderately lengthy beard with multicolored purple and green robes?
Does he talk about spices?
Yes, and he's invariably.
Does he always smell of potpourri?
Did he piss his pants?
Are you two okay in the head?
I'm just letting you know, we know who this age is. We
We're
gave him a
familiar with him.
ride. We gave him a lift to Colfort and we went our separate ways when we first arrived into town, since we had our own business with... Yes, you were right, we participated in the fighting pits. We haven't actually spoken to him in several days. We were actually just thinking about him this morning. He's
Look.
kind of a wily one.
I'm sure we can come to some kind of mutual understanding.
And you see as the guard grabs him from his hip and flashes an emblem towards you, which isn't a guard emblem. It's actually an emblem you've seen in the Lemon Underground quite a bit.
Of
He
course.
puts it on a desk.
Look, there's a bit of a change brewing in the city. Lemon Underground's making some moves, and we think it's best if you don't leave quite yet.
Oh, I fucking knew it. Oh, I knew this fucking stunk.
And
Oi.
you know, if you do leave, it would be a shame if all of your deeds in Helltrain Prison got into official hands. Well, that's just my opinion, of course.
You're fucking blackmailing us, are you?
It's a... well, it's a nasty word. But I like to think
It's
of
a
it as
nasty
just...
word. Because it's a nasty practice, you prick.
I like to think that it's more just a incentive to do something good.
I like to maverick.
And I think a certain friend of ours who has a certain leadership in the Lemon Underground would like to keep you employed as well, so we would ask for a favor in return. He would die for us, but would he die for you?
Look, friend, you don't want to make an enemy out of a whole of Colfort, do you?
The Lemon Underground doesn't make enemies, they make favors. So this is what I'm asking, is that not how this works?
You see, the Lemon Underground you dealt with is a very different Lemon Underground to what's happening now. Big things are coming, and you've got to decide what part of history you want to fall on.
The side that puts an end to breaking and entering into lost temples to steal evil artifacts, dealing with necromancy and teleportation magics, and dealing with gods of Vecna and Tolono. That's the side that we're against. So that's just to let you know where we stand.
Well, yeah, you say that, but you seem to find yourselves embroiled in all those kind of deeds. So are you really against it if you're seeking it out so often?
Someone like you can never understand. Of course.
Of course.
Would you rather these powers that are in play be in the hands of someone of people of just greed of power and pure destruction, or ones that want to take it away from those people? And
You might think about all the shite that we're saying is not true, or that it's over-exaggerated, but we've seen some really fucked up shit so far, right? Dark forces, cults on the move, alright? So whatever you're doing, it's all in, you know, you're doing whatever you want to do for your self-interest. We're trying to save people and shite. So what the fuck do you want with us, alright? Just fucking say it already, and we'll see if we can do it for you. But we expect a favor in return, at least, because we're busy people.
Look,
I'm not
all the
trying
Lemon
to
Underground wants is for
dilly-dally
you
in
not to
Cold
leave
Fort for too
Colfort.
long.
We've heard
What
that
for?
the Twilight Blade's going north. Parliament is scuppering because of the new trade tariff, destroying the industry. We figure it's time to do something about it, you know? Alliance of the Guardsmen, with the Lemon Underground and a few other groups here and there. Perhaps a little thieves guild or two.
So what if there's going to be like a little war in Cold Fort for control? Is that
No,
it?
there'll be no war at all. We just quiet replacement of Parliament, and the Empire won't care.
a quiet replacement of Parliament. Political reallocation. You want us an offer guy that's in political power. Is that what this is?
Look, you've got to decide who you're going to support. You support the wrong people here, and soon enough, You won't even be able to leave Coldwater if you want, because your heads will be on pikes.
How much proof do you even have that we were actually in Hellchain, anyways? Do you have any concrete evidence that we were there?
You see, you, my friend, you disturbed a little beastie they have locked up there. And you may think that beastie is not very smart. In fact, in return for knocking 150 years off its sentence, it gave us a little description of someone it saw and paralyzed. Just so happens that matches up directly to you. There's also a man who claims to have been bribed, and I wonder where that hundreds of gold pieces would have come from, if not for some people sneaking in. Not to mention the dead guardsman. And we have direct proof of you buying the uniforms to get in from Belém Underground. It's a powerful unity, my friend.
Fuck. Right. What exactly do you need us to do?
Just stay in the city, and when you see things happening, make sure you fall on the right side.
How long do you expect us to stay in the city?
2 weeks, at most.
Alright, I'll stay in the city for 2 weeks. No problem.
Good. That's all we like to hear. I believe our business here is done.
Aye, sure. Take care of yourself, you prick.
See you in 2 weeks, unless you skip town first.
Well, let's just hope for your sake nothing big happens in the outside world and you don't have to go scampering off to do your hero duties. Wouldn't want anything bad to happen to Garcus now, would we? And he gets up. Right. Enjoy your morning.
And he goes and leaves. Just as he leaves, the door swings open at the same time as Joinkshot enters, and he goes, "Oh, hello." Steps back and lets
I turn
Joinkshot
to
enter as he
Maverick.
leaves.
And I'm like, I don't want to stay in the city for 2 more weeks.
I'd like to have him try to put my head on a fucking pike.
Can we just, I told him I would, but I honestly just want to leave as soon as possible.
Absolutely fucking no, we're not staying here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Give it 8 days tops.
Oh, even that's too long. Maybe 4 days tops.
Sure, why not? We'll give it a week.
So, just as you say this, Kishore and Joy, you enter the tavern to see this conversation happening.
Does he leave?
He has left, yeah. He has left the tavern.
Should we be worried about that?
No. Just a person that's both underpaid in the Lemon Underground and underpaid in the Tyrannum, trying to make moves on us.
Well, I should have been around for that. I could have told him to fuck off.
Well, we already did, apparently.
Oh, yeah, we told him to fuck off multiple times, actually.
Apparently, people that were bought out by the Lemon Underground were also guards in the Tyrannum of Hellchain Prison and kind of recognize us as the TLDR.
Well, it's not.
They actually got a lot of dirt on us, and they're
Either
blackmailing
we go to
us.
Hellchain Prison ourselves, be executed with heads on pikes, or we carry out some sort of political fucking assassination with them. Who fucking cares?
Well, in other news, me and Joy met a god today, so that was fun.
Oh, you as well.
What, for real?
No, actually, yes, no.
Yeah.
Oh, like, actually physical.
Yes, we were walking through the park, enjoying ourselves, having a mighty grand time, and Lady Luck herself decided to smile down upon us and say hello.
No shit.
Well, do you get what you were looking for, Joy?
Yes, I have the lead. So,
A lead. Oh, so-
yeah, depending on when we can, or when I can follow that, I'm not sure.
Well, it seems that we're stuck in this place for about I don't know, week.
Well, what's all going on exactly? They have dirt on us.
Mm-hmm.
They're wanting us to
Lots of it.
assassinate someone.
I'm not
Well,
sure
it's-
exactly if it's an assassination, but they want us to pull strings politically, so it
Back in
can
just
swing
a
in their
second.
favor.
Or else what?
Or else they'll put us in Hellstein prison. They want us to remain in the city for 2 weeks.
Huh. Well, if we ever come back to Coalfort, I think we kind of have to listen.
Well,
Right.
that's entirely dependent on who we have in our, as assistants to all this. I mean, if a political shift is happening, we have at least someone we know we can trust inside the Lemon Underground to help us. Maybe.
They actually
It seems that
threatened
we're going to
kill
need
him.
his help in a little bit.
Maybe. But
They made an empty threat about him, by the way.
Yeah,
If we don't carry out whatever they want.
They're insinuating a coup against Garcus if we don't help him.
which is exactly why we should probably let Garcus know, right?
Obviously. But they're barking up the wrong tree, honestly. I think Garcus could swipe 3 of their heads off in one go, honestly.
I'm completely in agreement with you there, but at the same time, I mean, blowing steam up an ass is still enough to shake trees and get answers, so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I actually, since we're kind of stuck here anyway, I was wondering if you could help me out with a little bit of a pet project.
I guess I need the next 2 weeks. I need to work on something myself as well. Here.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. What's you need, Kishore?
And he just kind of takes a seat, takes a deep breath, and holds his hat. There's a concert coming into town by the end of the week. And there is something that I need to reacquire from said concert. Perhaps not by the most legal means, if you catch my drift.
And I'm assuming Joy is already on board. Sounds like right up her alley.
It's, I asked her first.
Is this little concert of yours, is it going to be held in Coalfort?
It's gonna be right here in Coalfort at I named the theater, I'm sorry. I don't have
The
these notes.
Barbican, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be held at the Barbican Theater, and
What is the item that you need to get so badly?
it's an instrument. It's an instrument from an old friend. And as I was explaining before to Joy, I'm perfectly capable of using what I have at the moment, but if we're going against this assembly and we're dealing with blackmailed threats and more powerful figures, I imagine any edge I might be able to glean in order to help you all would be appreciated.
Sure, as long as we don't have to kill anyone to get it.
I do not want anybody getting hurt on this little excursion on our side or their side. Nobody needs to get hurt, hopefully.
So you said that this is a concert, and I'm assuming one of the performers at this concert has your instrument. Is this some sort of bard rivalry thing you're doing?
That's
Battle of the Bards type deal?
person that you're stealing
did you
it
lose
from.
a bet, and did you bet instruments, pink slips kind of thing, and you lost your instrument in a bet or something?
Yeah, you know what? Whatever it is you can imagine is probably more interesting than a real story, so I'll just let you keep going on that. So yeah, absolutely.
Ah.
Who's the person that you're stealing it from? Is it do they not deserve to have the instrument?
Yeah, And you just see, for the first time, Kashot just does not have a lot to say. He's not really sure how to explain himself. It's complicated. And it's, well, I'm sure if you read the letters, you're gonna figure something out. So I just need to get something back, and that's all it kind of boils down to. I don't want to make no big fuss about this if I can help it, and I don't, I just need some help. That's about what this boils down to.
Alright,
Both thinks that's fishy as hell.
well, we'll do what we can. Seems like we're kind of stuck here for the time being anyway. Plus, I need to take care of some business as well. Oh, right. Joy, now that you mention it, were those chalices worth anything?
I was able to use 2 of them. I have 4 left.
Okay.
Well,
If we can liquidate
I might
those.
need to redeem those.
yeah, they're yours.
All right,
Unfortunately, I did spend the 8,000, so I owe you all quite a lot.
Oh, right. Another thing I wanted to ask you about. We, put up a pretty good show, and people were talking to us about possibly doing, merchandising deals. So that might be a.
Just
small-
turn that down.
Yeah, no, we
Don't
don't
want
wanna
any
do
of that. No.
Yeah,
We heard tales of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. If
I
you
don't
were
want
not
to be
here for
owned by a
the.
fucking company.
I recount the tale of the orc bartender of his father or whatever that was a fighter and seized everything that he owned when he retired because
Yeah, no, I didn't necessarily trust that sort of thing. I was just, I'm a pretty persuasive guy. I was going to get a better deal out of it anyways, but besides, I'm basically your manager as far as is concerned.
good. We would rather have you than those people.
Listen, it's just public relations, very important. I'm pretty good at it.
All right. I got some business I need to do. I'll take these chalices and need to go see someone that I haven't met yet. Actually, that Lugos and you people have met before. I need to go talk to this relic guy.
You want some help?
I guess so. I know he doesn't deal with money, but I need these chalices for money for something related.
All right, let's get going. Come on.
Let's just stop standing around.
All right.
Joey, want to come with? Kashaw? Let's go on a little bit of a walk. It seems that this place has been sniffed around by Tyrannum anyway.
Can't hurt. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
I'll leave a gold piece on the counter for, I forgot the orc's bartender's name.
Just call him Orc Bartender. I know it's somewhere in my notes. It'll
Yeah,
just
I'll
require a bit of
just
searching backwards.
leave a gold piece and a little bit of a 2-finger salute. We'll be back.
His name is Grum.
We'll be back, Grum.
Or is it
Take
Durek?
care
I
of
have
the
so
place.
many tavern keepers' names written all over a piece of paper. Right. Alright, so you are heading
Off we
off
go.
to the abandoned temple of Zalazas to see Mr. Relic. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
So,
I'm
you
putting
quickly
my
head off.
putting my passions in motion. It's the only thing I've ever taken initiative upon myself
Yeah.
to do.
So, you quickly head off towards the street you remember called Tunstall Way. It's as I said before, it's a more decrepit part of Colfort, much like the tavern you first came to when you arrived. But heading through small shambly streets, you eventually kind of find yourselves pressed up against the wall of the wall that separates the lower tier from a higher tier of the city. And along this great stone wall, there's Turnstile Street, which is a relatively seedy area. You look, the windows to either side of you are boarded up, and from the cracks in between you can see just abandoned furniture. There's no one on the street, and actually, as you arrive, I want you all to make a stealth check for me. As you continue to, as you walk down the street,
Stealth?
I would like you to make a stealth check for me. Because there's just no one around, and it's kind of eerie as you go down.
Did we just walk into gangland?
We are walking into gangland.
Oh, my
But,
God.
I mean, I'm not even trying to
Really
be stealthy. I'm
You are about to get drive-by'd.
Can I cast Pass Out Trace?
Oh, hello.
Ooh. That is a spell
That'd
you
make-
have, and that is a thing you can do.
that would add 10 to all of our stealth rolls.
I would add 10 to everyone's stealth roll.
31.
I got an 18 then.
31.
You got a 41. Kasha.
All right.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll
Not
it for
even the
Leocast
gods
as well.
can see me anymore.
I think Leocast and I have the same stealth modifier, so I could just roll again. And
You can't
Yeah.
even
Plus
see
one.
yourself
His is
anymore.
+2, but he will have disadvantage to it. Yeah.
Okay, so a 12 that would turn into a 14, and then an 18 turned into a modded 20. So a 14 dropped down to a 24 for the pass without trace.
Well, he also has
Awesome.
yeah. 24.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So again,
24 for Leocas.
you all approach very silently down the street. It's almost kind of like a Western shootout style arrival, as it's this barren street. It's very wide, just mud and potholes everywhere. As you're walking down, and everyone seems to be in the buildings, even over his.
I'm ready.
You feel like a tumbleweed. Goes across the road. As you
I
head down.
prestidigitate a small tumbleweed.
It's very small, unfortunately. It's only a cantrip. It's more of just like a mote of dust. Just a very concerningly large amount of dust. And it goes around. Goes across the street.
It's a graffiti thing of a tumbleweed because it's a symbol, so it's like an Overwatch spray.
Yes.
So,
Oh.
you head down the street.
Why do I hear boss music? I want to go to a church.
You shall face Jesus. No.
Yes, finally!
So,
The
as-
risen-
You've had your comeuppance for a long time now. No, I'm just kidding.
Jeez.
So you see
Yes.
the familiar kind of grey, blocky, decrepit temple, maybe 50 feet down the street, and actually just in front of the doors of the temple, you see a cloaked person. They're smoking a cigar by the looks of it,
Oh boy.
and they smoke the cigar for a small while before sniffing out on the ground. And then it seems like they rescue a tiny bit of the tobacco and put it into a pouch on their hip, and then pull a cloak over their head and head back into the temple. The door seems
they
to
have the
bolt
courtesy
behind
to
them
smoke
multiple
outside.
times.
At least they have the courtesy to smoke outside.
Mav, that was one of the most intimidating things I've ever seen from a person just smoking. So
What'd the person do?
He just
just
smokes.
smoked.
Yeah.
put his hood up and walked in the church where we're going.
Okay.
You're sure this is the place, right? Like,
Yep. Is he the rat man that takes the weapons at the gate?
Yeah,
you
there's a
reckon?
little goblin creature that.
Last time you
yeah.
checked, a goblin isn't about 6'2" and widely built.
Yeah, I just call him the rat man because
I don't want to run into that creepy little goblin again that has a trench coat of rusty weapons.
yeah, I like that guy actually. He was kind of cool. He's like, "Can I carry your weapons?" Opens up a clang, clang, clang.
I got daggers, I got swords, I got everything you need.
Hey.
The Resident Evil merchant vibes. What are you buying?
Believe you me, I know it doesn't look much on the outside, but this is the place.
all right, you're the boss for this. I double check my crossbow and make sure that it's loaded, cocked,
Okay.
and I just put it back in the holster. And I'm like, okay,
Last time we were here, there weren't nobody here but a creepy little goblin and relic underground. Hopefully, it stays the same way. Let's head
Okay.
inside. I know where we need to go to.
I will say, from what we can tell, the door is locked from the inside. It's a very
door's locked inside?
rusty lock.
that
What?
ass.
It's a very rusty lock, but you imagine it's locked because there was a click as the man went in.
We just walked into the front door last time, right?
Yeah, it wasn't locked last time.
Yeah. I don't know. Do we want to like just walk in because we're looking to speak to the Lemon Underground anyways, and we know that Relic and the Goblin Trenchcoat Man is part of it, but that guy was different.
Yeah, and it's locked, so we can't just walk in.
Can I look for an alternate route? Possibly if I could like scale any scaffolding or anything like that. That might be on the outside.
This kind of temple is really very. It's just like a grey kind of utilitarian building. It's very blocky. There's really not much you can do. There's kind of a few stained glass windows with iron bars over them, which are slightly cracked, and then it's
How
just
far
for
up are
a
they?
wooden door. But just kind of first floor windows, but they're very prison style in that there is iron bars on the outside of them.
So it doesn't look like there's any alternate route inside. What if I go around the back and the sides still?
The back, again, it's just the stained glass windows. There's a large stained glass window at the back, but it's got lots of... It's more kind of empty space and window at this point. It's been completely cracked through, but it has still the large iron bars block it off.
Okay. I turned to Joy. Joy's with us, right?
Yeah.
And I just like gesture to the door, like expectedly, like.
Yeah, sure. I'll just shrug and approach it.
Go
Roll
ahead.
a thieves' tools check for me.
Oh goodness, where is that?
Just slide a hand check. It's not a
Yeah.
normal skill.
Oh.
You slide a hand with proficiency.
Natural
Damn.
2 plus 11, 13, yeah. Put this old
with
rusty
with a
lock.
plus 11, it's hard
You
to...
very quickly get down and begin to unpick the lock, and with a very satisfying, you activate all the pins, and you hear something drop off at the other side of the door. It appears this was kind of almost like a temporary lock that's kind of fastened on, like, and once it's activated, part of it drops off. That's be reapplied again. And as this comes off, the door kind of becomes loose and kind of opens slightly in the wind, but apart from that, nothing at all.
Just be
So-
on the ready.
I'll take a step back and just kind of motion Lugos forward.
Okay.
Plus 10 to stealth rolls, let's go.
Yeah,
Neocast
Lucas goes forward.
also draws his sword, and you see how actually as he draws his sword, the sheath it's in kind of sharpens as it comes out.
Yeah, fancy sheath. Wait,
Fancy
what's
sheath, which
going on?
he now has a spear, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep.
Okay, so I assume you're all going inside.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be going inside as well.
Okay.
I want to scan like the open room before I proceed to like the false floor tile.
Okay.
Just to make sure if there's anybody like around or how many people there might be.
Well, saying that, the interior of the temple was just as you remember it when you first came here. It's a decrepit, long-lost place. You see, it was once a place of... Well, yeah, it's quite obvious this was once a place of kind of worship, but now it is just covered in dust. And you see pews pushed to the side, unburning torch sconces on the wall, and a ripped out altar lying crumbled across the marble floor. In the center of the room, a familiar passage has been kind of separated from the floor and leads into the undertunnels. It has been left open. Glancing about, you do not see a sign of the figure, and you don't see the goblin. And Joy, as you enter this place, the tarot cards you were given just turn to dust of a burst of eldritch energy.
Oh. Lovely. So they
Is
just-
everything-
Go
Is
ahead. Sam.
everything okay?
Well, when I saw magic dust, apparently he gave me tarot cards, but he didn't really hand them to me. They just sort of appeared in my
Well, that's
pocket.
concerning.
And they just kind of disintegrated.
What tarot cards were they? What kind?
They were meant for Lugos.
Oh, I went for Leica, sorry.
Oh, Leocast. And I obviously didn't get a chance to share them with him. 3 different tarot cards. One was for worship, and then dust, and then east.
Let me just. Maverick's gonna use his 9 intelligence. Is this Temple of Zealous that's on the east side of Colfort?
Yes, roughly speaking, yeah.
Yeah, can Lucas put this together with a 10 intelligence? Because he's
Yeah, yeah.
because he doesn't have a minus.
Maverick is like, and then Lugos is like, yes.
Yeah.
Brain blast.
Yeah, because
I'm increasing my fucking intelligence score. By the
Nice,
way, I'm
yeah.
getting a headband of intellect. I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah.
Because the tarot cards also seem to imply, like, whatever Leocast was kind of truly searching for and kind of really, really badly wanted to find was going to be kind of here, you guess?
Well, I don't know what.
Ooh, that's
Even
dangerous.
Leocast just gives a shrug. I'm guessing he's just like.
I want
Sorry,
to I want to try to meet Maverick's eyes, and I give him like a knowing glance, like damn, you know.
I mean, I have my own reasons for being here. If it's coincidentally with Leocast as well, then I guess more power to him. I suppose. Maybe I shouldn't say it like that. I think.
No, don't fucking say that. No, not
I think he
more
has
power to
enough power.
him. Yeah, exactly. Less power to him, actually.
All right. All right,
It's
everyone.
Telona, it's not
Scan the room.
business.
All right, everyone. Scan the place.
This Telona's not good business, by the way. I just want to say that.
It's absolutely terrible. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, alright.
I'll perception check of the room.
Everyone
I
perception
got a
for me.
10 on the one I rolled earlier.
13.
Okay.
Do you want me to re-roll, or do you want me to keep that one?
I'd say keep the same one. So 10, 13. Are the rest of you perceptioning it? Perceptioning? Oh, great word.
Using your
Perceiving?
eyeballs and your ear
Perceiving?
holes.
Perceiving, yeah.
Yes.
That is the common accepted one.
Yeah. Hey, that's a
17.
really good perception roll. Cashew.
Cashew, would you care to perceive?
I am not a nut. I am
And that's the only way we got
I am
his
not a
attention.
You want to do
No.
a perception? Perception.
Yeah,
check?
I'm
Use your
typing
eyeballs
it out.
in your ear
I'm
holes.
sorry. I have to keep referencing D&D Beyond because again, I'm using Foundry on my phone and it doesn't work great. So
Hydrate
we're
has
making
been
this
redeemed.
work.
I don't have anything to hydrate myself with.
Hydrate with your tears.
That will come at the end of the session.
Natural one. Let's go.
That's the one.
Your eyes are closed.
Oh
Kishore,
man,
you're just thinking
Yeah.
a lot of this art and kind of stained glass would have been very pretty and very nice when it was in its heyday. Gonna glance
man, this
around.
would be some.
Stop
real
making me
nice-
feel bad, Spencer.
Man, some real nice Art Deco and.
This temple has crumbled to become a piece of crap.
Shut the fuck up.
But
Lugos-
this family has $200,000 and 3 kids. Will they be able to flip this house?
And they're
Find
gonna
out.
find out that restoring a temple ain't so easy.
Rob Schneider is
Is Maverick DeLeon in
Please, God, no, I don't want Rob Schneider to be me.
In temple flippers.
Rob Schneider? Let's just be honest. Rob Schneider would be Lugos, if anything.
These jokes are too American for me to understand, but it all sounds ridiculous.
The dude who played Kramer from Seinfeld is Leocast. It's Kramer. Leocast is Kramer.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you would
Maverick
agree
and
with it.
Lugos. You two glance about, you don't see anything too kind of out of the ordinary. You just see it's very empty. There's no sign of a little goblin person. And there's no sign of anything, really. Joy, glancing out further, the only thing that really takes kind of that you take note of is on the floor, kind of leading to this little kind of passageway that goes down. The dust has been recently disturbed by footprints going there.
Yeah, I'll point it out to everybody else.
I have to hide. We have to hydrate, guys. We have to hydrate.
All right, after
Okay, no.
grabbing,
No.
I do have to go grab a thing to hydrate.
I'm just gonna grab my canned water dish in my room, so there's nothing else. Just kidding. I'm not actually gonna do that. I promise.
Do I have infinite channel point? Oh, I do. I can just redeem divine inspiration infinitely.
Yeah, let's not though.
Yeah, let's not.
By the way, you were supposed to take it off of channel points, so you got to put it,
Yeah.
leave it in the bits
I'll
thing.
do that when the bits get working.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, I guess if it gets pointed out, I guess I'll start leading and I'll start heading towards this area. I look to Lugos and be like, "Is this the entrance to the place?"
Oh yeah, I point to the false floor tile and I go inside.
You head down. I want you to make a dexterity check as you head down.
Sure.
Just the first person who's going down the ladder, because you notice the ladders are very, very rickety. It looks like it's held together by ancient strings. And as you go down, just the bottom rung falls off, which means whoever goes down next, I need them to make a dexterity check also.
Sweet. That is an 8.
Can I give him the help action as I like catch him as he's coming down?
Yeah, it's not so much him that is the problem. It's obviously
It's a little bit better. From 8 to 9, let's go.
the mithril armor you have, whilst very quiet, you fall down with quite a heft as you step on the ladder, and in quite a comedic fashion, you just go through every single rung until you're just standing at the bottom. And also you're just standing at the bottom with kind of 2 poles in your hand, all the rungs gone.
Oh god.
It looks like that ancient ladder is very destroyed. Who's heading down next? It's only about 7 feet down.
I just turn and I take a couple steps away. I'm like, fuck. It's like, and then I'll start walking away from the ladder.
You thick fucker.
Are you talking intelligence-wise or like physical?
I'm talking physical and intelligence-wise.
Okay, who's heading down next? Joy or Shu?
I'll go ahead and head down.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess she'll already go ahead and go down.
I'm gonna say no dexterity is required because it's just a 7-foot fall onto some stones. So you kind of just jump off the edge, land quite nicely. But it appears now there is no ladder to get back up easily and quickly. And
I
Shu,
could have done that.
for sure, I'll say the same for you as you definitely jump down into this kind of under tunnel area. You see,
Look at you landing with the grace of an angel.
as
See, that was a play on words because you're infernal.
as you immediately
funny.
glance down, because you're immediately kind of in the L-shaped room where Relic resided, and it seems much more spacious. Because all the tables that had the outfits and his various desks are gone. Nothing's left here apart from a gently burning torch sconce. And to the very far end of the room, a hole has been made in the wall. It looks like the stone. It looks like a pickaxe has been taken to the stone and just used to rip bricks out. And you see a dark mud/clay tunnel leading off from one of these walls. It looks like the wall's almost built over it, covering it up. But it has now been revealed as everything here has disappeared.
Oh wow, Relic is gone.
It's a good day to be Maverick.
Unfortunately, a good day. I would have preferred Relic than whatever the fuck is in this hole.
Yeah, can I start like looking around to see if there's any
evidence of
trace?
him?
Yeah, to see where
Yeah.
he could have gone.
Anything he left behind?
Like maybe there's a relocation notice or
Spools
something.
of wire entwined.
Yeah, it seemed like Relic was kind of attached to this place, like literally. Like relocating him must have been a task.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
I'm
roll
looking around for,
investigation.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, any notices that they're moving him or something.
I don't know.
Let's see how good you are as a detective. 15
I am not
and
good at.
Maverick, you poke around a bit. There's nothing that really
I've never
piques
been
your
down here,
interest.
so I don't
Yeah.
know what I'm looking for. Fairly enough.
Lugos, you look. This, you can quite clearly tell the difference between an intentional moving out and a not intentional moving out. From the neatness of everything, and it looks like the timely manner everything has been taken out, because it was a very packed place. In a few days it's all disappeared. You reckon Relic has left of his own volition. You don't know whether that was for coin, out of fear of his life, or anything else. Whatever it seems.
Relic is a scary person. What could have? Oh, damn. Fear of his life? I don't think so. I relay this information to Maverick. It looks like he left intentionally himself, or that he may have been relocated by superiors, but he wasn't in a rush or nothing. I think that the building might be under new ownership of sorts. Perhaps that hefty feller that was smoking a cigar when we came here. Maybe we should talk to him.
I mean, are you sure that this is gonna be, Best plan moving forwards.
We need to take care of this.
All right.
Also, as a DM's note, I'll just say out of all, because this was like something I had planned, just come kind of completely in advance, and it's like, you know, where should we go? Let's go back to this temple. And I'm like, okay, bring up the notes.
Hey, I love it when things work out.
Yeah, so you see this gaping abyssal tunnel in front of you, which has been hewn into the wall, and almost an abyssal darkness calling to you.
Is there a sign of new ownership here at all?
There's no sign of life. There's not
the
even
big guy?
a rat or a... There's nothing to be seen.
Well, fuck. He at least could have left me a +2 leather-studded armor.
Okay.
Alright, damn, interesting. Alright, big guy, what are you thinking? And I give him like a pat on the shoulder.
We press on.
You want to go deeper into the abysmal chasm?
Sure.
Make sure that's the right idea, I mean.
So, does anybody mind guiding me? I can't see down here.
Alright. I mean, I can... Light
Oh,
cantrip.
Mav, will you hold my hand?
No, that's okay. I can hold Joy's and do a light cantrip. Or I can just hold your hand. Nah, I use a light cantrip. There. Everyone can see fine now.
Yeah, there's a above you casting beautiful shimmering light across the chamber.
LSPD, open up!
We have a warrant!
We have a warrant!
But you think it's actually pretty eerie because the light cantrip makes like a gentle hum, and that's essentially all you can hear down here apart from breathing every so often. Just above you.
Creepy.
I mean, if you really want to press on, I'm not going to say no. And I just like take my bow into my hand.
I am constantly taking the dodge action.
What would you do if there was a giant spider in here?
Oh God.
I'm joking. There isn't a giant spider in there.
Really hard.
I would burn this entire church down and feel no
No!
remorse.
I would
It's
stab
like-
it really hard from far away multiple times.
It's like,
With very
you
tiny
know
sticks.
how a spider kind of like hides in like a tiny hole in the brick? It's like
wish
imagine
it
if
could
that,
go
if that was what you were walking into now, just kind of it's tiny like...
Yeah, maybe you could just stop talking.
Don't worry, it isn't
Fucking hate
arachnophobia. I'm saying,
Spiders become
yes.
a lot less scary when they reach a certain size, in my opinion.
Incorrect.
Serious?
Not true.
Yeah, no, it's
Unless
true.
once you reach a certain size of smallness, correct?
No, they become a lot less scary once they reach a certain size of largeness.
I'll kill you.
So if it was just like 1,000 small ones that came spinning out of us all.
No, just okay. Can we just move on from this conversation? Right the fuck now.
Quantity. There's like a cross-axis scale, right? Quantity, number of fucks that I will not give.
Yeah.
Makes
And
no.
Your
And
XY axis is a little
size.
skewed.
Sure
There's
has
size and
arachnophobia.
quantity.
Listen, this is the way I see it, right? Everything from the size of like a black widow and smaller things like that, all the way up until like a camel spider, those are all scary. But once you reach something like, for example, like in Skyrim, a frostbite spider would not be as scary as a tarantula to me.
Are you fucking out of your
Because
mind?
they're easy to deal with. Like, you can see their eyes and everything up close. They're large.
Words. The bigger the spider, the scarier it is. Oh my God, have you ever seen a fucking banana?
All right, what if there was like a King Kong sized spider? That's
What have I
not
done?
scary.
That's fucking terrifying.
No, it's not, dude.
It has 8 legs, a bajillion eyes. That's no.
Because
fuck
at that
you.
point, you're the spider to it. It doesn't matter.
Okay,
Alright.
hear me out.
No.
My
Okay,
fear
So
genuinely
this we
plateaus.
have math. We have math here. This is the size of the spider. This is the quantity of spiders. This is the nope line. Anything more quantity or bigger in size is the more nope it is.
But you have to
I
take
don't
on,
know.
you have
Yes.
to think about spiders' features. It's volatile. It's not a straight line.
Yes,
There's
it is.
also
literally.
this
Okay,
is
listen.
this is okay. So there's also a bisecting line in quantity. There is also this line. This is anything. This is too many spiders.
Okay, so
So
as
right
much as I
here,
love this
this
discussion,
area
I would like
right
to
here.
just bring it back to D&D
This-
because
Yeah.
we were doing that. So
This
yeah,
That went on
right
a
here.
mighty
statistics
tangent.
lesson, buddy. I don't need it.
You're
I
He's
know
drawing
where my
graphs in
number is.
Microsoft Paint.
You're messing
This-
up the camera.
This is the pet zone.
What?
So yes.
Oh, okay.
All right. So now
Oh,
anything that's more than this many amount, this is over here. This is too many spiders. Anything above the nope line is too ugly. So right here in this size, this is I'm okay with being around it.
Your mama
if
is
it's
above the
small
nope line.
enough- But yeah, but if it's small enough and there is too few of them, I am perfectly fine with it being in the pet zone.
I respect
Right.
I respect spiders for what they are, but if one ever got near me, I would kill it. I can't. That's not negotiable.
Okay.
Size, quantity does not matter.
Okay.
Anyways,
Let's
All right,
rope
so
this
thanks
back.
for coming
Titty.
to my TED Talk about spiders.
I hate it.
That was very.
I hope that was very informative of the
Yep.
nope line and the too many line.
Welcome back to Roundtable, where we
What
talk the
fucking
economics of spiders. Anyway,
Yes, it's very important.
so in the once lair of Relic, big gaping, dangerous-looking hole in front of you, what do you all wish to do?
The dodge action.
Okay. Are you actually proceeding
sure there
into
aren't any
dangerous-looking
spiders
hole?
around.
Fireball, preferably.
What? No. All right, I proceed. So I continue the stealthily proceeding.
Would you all like to keep your same stealth scores as before?
Sure, I think it's all fine and dandy.
Yeah.
I will hold the attack action.
Okay. 4.
So I have two arrows knocked on my bow at all times.
What prerequisites are you putting on there?
What, me?
Yes, like when will you fire those off?
He
Well,
sees a
once,
spider.
once I know that we're definitely in danger.
Okay. So it's
Or
when
sees
it
a
looks like
spider.
combat might be about to start, you're gonna fire those off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to shoot at a person, but I might shoot at like a big spider. So.
Yes. The spider prerequisite.
I promise there are no big spiders here. So you head in. You step through a wall onto the tunnel, and around you there's just soft clay and mud. It's an orange or brown color as you step forward, and it's a horrible sludging noise. As this passage is maybe 5 foot high at its best, so you all kind of crouch down. You see every so often there's timbers forced into the ground, holding what roof there is up. You feel at any moment this could collapse and possibly kill you all. Anyway.
Nice.
Nice.
I want to shout really loud and cause an earthquake.
TPK, alright, we're done.
TPK, let's go. No.
Death by lots of clay. Anyway, continue down the passageway. Step by step, you head into darkness. This light cantrip above you, just kind of buzzing just above your heads. You walk on for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Continuously down a winding path. Every so often, you'll head down a few feet and have to slide down a slight clay incline. Apart from that, you continue heading down.
Does it look
Until-
like there's been any tracks like going this way?
Make an investigation check for me.
Yeah, specifically for specifically from like a warforged of
I'm gonna
sorts,
say
maybe like an-
I'm only gonna say the first person in the marching order can do this, because then once everyone else has passed, it's possible to search
Can
for
I use
tracks.
survival instead?
Yes, I would say yeah, survival.
Okay.
18.
18.
There are footsteps here. 1 pair. Human boots, relatively large size.
How fresh do they look?
Within an hour.
Within an hour? Nice. Let me see 1 second here. I'm pretty sure there's a feature that I get.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, you can keep going, sorry. Watch right, yeah, the exact number, the size is and how long ago they passed through the area, so an hour. How big are they relic sized?
They're 6'2".
Okay, 6'2". You know who else was 6'2"? The guy was smoking.
Whoa, it's almost like it all connects.
Yeah, okay.
It's almost as if he walked down here.
I relayed this all to...
9 intelligence Maverick is like, the guy will probably walk through.
Tracks. Probably had a foot, at least.
At least one of them had, you know.
Yeah, it's like, well,
Had it.
we could remove a possibility. He had a peg leg.
Alright,
So we're not
anyways,
dealing with pirates, thank God.
Yeah.
I relayed this to the rest of the party. All the information I learned from tracking it.
Okay. So, you continue walking down, following these tracks, heading down further into the slope, until you see the roof above you steeply decline, and just in front of you is a very small passageway, much smaller than the passageway you're currently in, and it's essentially a radius of 2 foot, so very tight, mud kind of crawl space that seems to lead through. You can glance down beneath it and see how far it might go. You cannot see the end of it, and it's a very small, very claustrophobic, very unstable mud little passageway.
This music makes me feel like I'm in a mud passageway. Crazy.
Why do I get the feeling that I kind of just want to collapse the end of this and just walk back? Just fuck off. No,
I'm not sure what this father is that we're tracking. I'm not sure what he wants. Well, this is going really far, right?
I do have 120-foot dark vision, and it sees through magical darkness as well. There's no way I can peer through that hole and find out.
The reason you can't kind of see is because it actually turns kind of quite steeply left, so you just physically cannot see the end of it.
Got it. Well,
I'm not sure I'm gonna like what we find at the end of this tunnel.
I think the more stealthily dexterous, nimble type should try to get through this.
Well, you agree. Alright, Joe, you're up. Go on. Okay. At the mention of that, Lugos looks at the party like...
Only one
all right.
person should go, unless we all get stuck.
It's fine. I'll do it. Don't worry about it. I'm used to conditions
At
like
least
this.
find out what's around the corner.
Right.
Can I ask,
No.
Lugos, are you claustrophobic?
Would Lugos be claustrophobic? Potentially a little bit, yeah.
But I want you to make a charisma save with advantage as you head for here.
Yeah. He's been in nooks and crannies and caves before in the wild. I would say his claustrophobia comes in the city more likely.
Okay. So you crouch down and you go head first into this tiny mud passageway. And the first thing you notice is how kind of hard it is to get any ground. Because as soon as you move your elbows forwards to kind of spider crawl across, you notice how it just slips and slips. So you take an approach of kind of lying on your side and using one elbow to kind of drag your hip across and just doing that again and again. Luckily, you're on the slender side, so you have a bit of kind of breathing space around you, so it isn't terrible. You probably have a few inches all around you to breathe. But you kind of drag your way across. There's a few sections where you have to really duck under like a protruding rock from the side. But you head along, and after a while, you notice the air becomes very warm, very humid, as all you can really feel at this point is your own breath reflecting off the mud walls around you, and with that there's a horrible stench of the decaying kind of clay as well. You head forward, nonetheless. Maybe 5 minutes of journeying through this pass. As you drag yourself out of your brand, covered in this brown mud. You raise yourselves up, your back kind of hurts, and you see your eyes rest upon what appears to be the history of Colfort. And by that I mean there's various crates, carts and tools that lie abandoned surrounding a wide mineshaft. A long disused winch stands over it, pulleys and ropes extending hundreds of feet into the earth, disappearing into an abyssal blackness below. As you kind of stand up, there's only a few kind of feet towards the edge, maybe 6 feet at best, and as you stand up, you accidentally knock a small stone and it dislodges from the side of the clay, and you see as it bounces off a wall below, bounces again, and disappears without a sound.
Fuck. Alright. It's, interesting. I would like to kind of like look down, look forward, you know? Can I spot anything out? Do I see any more footprints from that guy?
Roll investigation.
Sure. Or survival, maybe?
If you're just doing footprint survival, but if you want a more kind of wide view of the entire thing, investigation, it's up to you.
Sure, I'll do a wide view of the thing. 13.
13. It's quite easy in the mud to see footprints, and they just stop on the edge and then lead down. You see also directly kind of above the middle of a mine shaft, there's a heavy set, almost cement block in the roof, kind of just in the center of it, directly on the ceiling. It has an iron hoop that protrudes down, and you reckon that may once have been kind of a winch holding.
Interesting. Alright. Can I look back? I can't see the rest of the party, right?
You can't see them, but you may be able to hear them. Probably about 100 meters or so away.
Can I whisper, scream to them?
Possibly, yeah. But as a GM's note, I will also just say, I don't know if you've gone out of character, but you also do have ascending stones.
Do I have one of the sending? Oh, I do have one of the sending stones, don't I? Yeah.
You might have done actually. I have no idea who took them.
One of them is.
I took one of them.
Kashaw has one of them.
For this specific scenario, actually.
Yeah, Lugos definitely has them.
Yeah, Kashaw has the other one.
I do.
Okay. So what message would you send? It can be 25 words.
There was a fucking mine down here. It's fucking huge, by the way.
Do you want I can respond to that, right?
You can respond to it, yeah.
They're cell phones, basically.
Okay.
Walkie-talkies.
Do you want us to come down there? Should we explore, or do we go back up?
I'm not liking what I see so far, but I can keep scouting ahead. I'll let you know when to come forward.
I look at the other two.
Oh, can I even say that much? Hold on. That was like 25, right? I have to keep it to 25, damn.
Yeah.
Let me see here.
That was like 20-ish words.
Yeah, okay. I'll keep scouting forward. I'll let you know when to come ahead.
I look to the others. I'm like, all right. So he found a mine. It goes deep down. He said he'll scout and inform us of when we should move up.
We should slowly follow him just in case he runs into some trouble. We don't want to get too far behind, or else, well, we can't help.
I agree. So, let's go.
I keep pressing forward as well.
Okay. So, the rest of you heading through the kind of small tunnels. So if you're doing that, I'd say it would take 5 minutes for the rest of you to kind of catch up to his location. Whilst you're doing that, Lugos.
Unless I keep moving forward.
Unless you keep moving forward.
Yeah, I do.
So, what are you up to?
Who, me?
Yeah, because from your perspective, the only way is down. There's no kind of around to another side. It's just this mine shaft.
Does the winch look like it works?
The winch is long abandoned and kind of lopsided, kind of hanging over it, made of very old wood.
Does it look like there's an alternative route down, or is it only the winch?
Make an intelligence check for me.
Sure. Average. Intelligence lad 8.
8. I could jump. But you get a feeling that may not be the smartest.
Yeah, what I will do. Do the footprints lead up to this?
The footprints just go straight off the edge.
Weird. Well, he probably stepped right under the winch then, right?
No, he literally just went to an edge where nothing was there, and would just then disappear into the abyss.
Okay, well, I'm going to tie a rope to a wooden support beam, if there's one available.
There's a few in the walls, yeah. You don't know how sturdy they are, but you can take a chance to it.
Are there any rock protrusions I could tie it to instead?
The main thing you see is kind of protruding kind of from this kind of the center of the pit, but instead in the air, kind of directly above the pit. There's that kind of cement fastening with the iron kind of circle on it.
Can I tie it to the iron circle?
You can try, but you'd have to kind of do a very Indiana Jones kind of lasso around it, because it's kind of hanging 30 feet in the air.
That's fine. I'll take my chances with that. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Why
say
don't you cast jump and then jump up and...
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. No, I'll try to like lasso around it for sure.
I'd say you roll sleight of hand for me.
Sure. My sleight of hand isn't terrible or anything.
23.
Hey.
Okay, so you take 50 feet of rope, I assume? And
Yep.
let's do it around. And you think you get a secure knot, but you can't really tell because it's very far away. There's about 20 feet above you, which leaves about 30 feet of rope that hangs directly down into the pit.
I want to give it a really solid tug.
A really solid tug. Roll a strength check
Yeah.
for me.
It's not that strong of a tug.
8.
8.
You pull. There's a slight bit there's a little sprinkling of dust that comes from the cement fastening as you pull on it, and the rope goes taut, but you think it's fine.
I'll take my chances.
Okay.
Maverick and Leo Cuss are not allowed to use the rope. Just kidding. All right, I'll go down. I'll relay to them. We're trying a rope to a support. I'm heading down.
All right, what? Tell Kashaw. Wait, is it like a speakerphone? Or no, I think only Kashaw will hear it.
He found a rope and he's moving down to a platform. You want to take this thing?
Yeah, sure.
I hand over
Grab
the
it.
stone.
Okay. So, Lugos, can I ask if you're just jumping off the edge or kind of rappelling down?
I'm rappelling down. I'm not gonna jump straight off.
Hey, I got a rope.
I go bungee jumping in a shady mine.
Roll athletics for me, as you'll kind of take all your weight onto this rope and try and grip on as you head down against the force of gravity.
Can I use more of my feet and use acrobatics instead?
How would you use acrobatics to kind of grip onto a rope?
Kind of staying like very close to the wall and trying to not put so much weight on the rope, more so using the rope as like a handle and shifting my weight to like the walls on the side.
Okay.
It's kind of like when you're rock climbing and the ropes are kind of like tied through your belt.
Yeah.
You don't really hang onto the ropes; you hang onto the wall.
Yeah, well, the ropes are just there.
23. You quickly begin your descent down. You step onto the walls of this mine shaft, and you quickly realize this isn't the same clay. It's definitely more so just kind of limestone and granite. So
Sorry about that. What's up? Somebody was shouting up towards
I was
me.
just saying how you head further down, and you get about halfway down, and the rope becomes taut as you reach the end of it.
I want to pick up the sending stone. I'm like, so what are you wearing? Oh, you're muted, by the way, Maverick.
I was just making khakis.
Khakis. All right.
Mithril. And then you realize it's not Kashaw.
So when I reach, does the rope reach all the way to the bottom?
It does not. It only reaches about 30 feet down, which is a bit less than halfway.
Interesting. Fuck. I have 50 feet of rope.
Time to bring down another 50 foot and tie that to the end of that one.
I'm gonna tell them, and I'm gonna hang out there for a bit, and I tell them I ran out of rope.
Well, what the fuck, man?
I'm about halfway. I need more rope. Have Joy bring me some more rope.
Joy got some more rope.
I hand over my rope.
Oh, right, never mind.
Just I will
Yes,
say,
I have Joy's rope in particular. I'm coming.
you two, you are having this conversation as the three of you are kind of clambering through this tiny passageway, and just as this conversation ends, you kind of emerge in the mine shaft, and you look down and you see kind of just the glint of kind of reddish ginger hair. You are 30 feet down into a mine shaft.
He's like hanging there, like, toss me the rope.
Hey, what's up, guys? Kishal, do you know Featherfall that you prepared in the Lemon Underground?
Yes, I still have that one available. So we could just jump down if you wanted to.
Yeah, we'll hand him the rope on the way down, and we'll like see you on the way down.
How convenient. How convenient.
How I'm down for that. I have the rope,
Yeah.
and I'm like, Kishal, whenever you're ready.
Oh, Joy?
Yes.
Do we
Okay.
want to all hold hands or
Three.
something? I'm not holding
Yep.
the Akas's hand.
I
Sure.
open my hands. Take
I
both
hold
hands.
Kishal's both of his hands.
Why are you like this?
It's like, all right, everyone, link hands, and I'm like, okay.
All right, just jump. All right, just jump.
Yeah, I only hold on to like his arm.
All right, 3,
Okay.
2, 1, jump. Wait,
We'll
go
walk
off the edge.
I walk off the edge.
Okay.
Joy cast,
Featherfall.
and I cast Featherfall.
Your stomach
on the way
lurches for
down.
a second as you fall off the edge, but then there's a nice kind of breeze. It's a breeze of rotten air, but it's still kind of somewhat refreshing as it goes over your face. And you quickly go down and you see the figure of Lugos quickly approaching you.
I give him the rope on the way down.
I take the rope.
Can I make you?
We'll see.
Because you are literally just falling next to him. Can I get you both to make dexterity checks to try and make his hand off nice and smooth?
Did I
Because it doesn't-
do an acrobatics to just toss the rope on him like those hoop rings at the carnival and it goes around his head?
Okay, so Lugos with a 17, you definitely extend your hand, ready to receive a rope. Maverick, make me a dexterity check.
That's a nat 19 without mods.
Okay. Yeah, it's a perfect handoff for your change of rope, because you just go past, hook it straight onto his arm, so Lugos, you are left hanging there, so you see your friends descend
Yeah.
into darkness.
I say to the sending stone, see you on the bottom.
Are you fucking suicidal?
Well, we need you to tie the rope so we can get back up. We only have a spell on the way down.
Oh, no. All right. Oh, you used a spell. All right. Well, that makes sense.
Okay, Lugos, make me
I tie the rest of the rope.
make me a
See
sleight of hand check,
nerd.
please.
See you, nerd.
And as Lugos is tying this rope,
God, such disrespect.
Maverick, join Kishore. You look down, as beneath you a lava pit. No, it doesn't.
Help! It's like the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but in reverse.
Okay, Lugos, 12. You tie what knot you can halfway down a mine shaft. It's kind of secure. You
I
think
want to
you.
do. I
It's
want to
okay.
do something a little interesting here.
Okay. Okay.
The mending cantrip.
I wish I had the mending cantrip. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know. I want to. You know how they have like pulley systems and clips? Can I use like my manacles as like a support for the rope to connect the ropes at all? Like I tie a loop around one rope
Yeah.
and tie it around the manacles, and then I tie
I
the
would
other
say
rope.
yes. So roll that sleight of hand again, as
Sure.
as if you give yourself advantage. Okay, 17.
Yeah.
Not bad.
It's pretty secure, and there's an iron kind of ting, 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 as you touch the two manacles. Begin to descend
yeah.
the rest of the way down, relatively securely. So, Kishore, Joy, and Maverick, you actually reach the bottom, probably about 10 seconds before Lugos reaches the bottom. And you, reaching the bottom first, have the added bonus of well, getting wet. Because as you quickly fall towards the bottom, you land in a stagnant pool of water with a large splash. It's dark and very old and full of dust, as there's this immediately cold sensation all around you. It's akin to doing the ice bucket challenge. There's this blinding flash of cold, a light cantrip hovering above you, and you kind of pull yourself towards a muddy shore to one side. Lugos, Lugos, I'd say you have about 10 seconds later, see this pool of water beneath you. I'd say you can just definitely kind of just swing yourself off a wall, and with your dexterity, you can just hop over it onto the muddy shore.
I hop right over it.
As you all kind of assemble on the shore, you see in front of you a large stone archway, maybe 2 meters wide, 3 meters tall, set heavily into the stone. Beyond it, a very dark room you can't quite see into. It's just very grey and shadowy.
Even with our dark vision, huh?
Yeah, because dark vision just turns it into shades of grey, and at distance it just all resolves into shadows.
True. Alright, well, since you're all so happy-go-lucky, how about you all go and scout ahead and I'll be back here, huh?
Sure. I'll take the lead.
Okay. So, Maverick, sure, enjoy. You're all heading in, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Look, I'm not. I know that this wasn't really the kind of adventure that we were expecting. To be honest, I was kind of just wanting to clear out whatever ruffians were kind of soliciting inside of this old temple, so we can.
Where the fuck are we right now?
Absolutely no goddamn idea.
You head.
But, you know, what can you do?
You head forward, and immediately, maybe after about 15 steps, the gravel that you find yourself in stops, and it's replaced with flagstone floor. And after another few steps, it's replaced with an aged, perhaps ancient, plush red carpet. Looking around you, torchlight, well, the light cantrip that you have, picks out minute motes of dust, casting flickering light on the stonework of this enormous hall you find yourself in. Ahead of you, a plush, dusty, dark crimson rug leads you further into the chamber, and as you kind of step over the thresholds to enter, pairs of ivory white candles atop iron holds bolted onto the stone floor to the side of you. As soon as you kind of cross the threshold, spark up in a horrid crimson flame. Above the mantle of a defunct fireplace to one side of the room, you see a massive portrait of a man with slicked hair, unearthly pale skin and blood-red lips, standing sentinel over all who enter. And as you notice, the eyes are impossibly deep and dark and seem to follow you as you step across the room. So as this Kishore, you recognize a faint melody, so faint that it might be carried on the breath of ghosts. It can be heard pervading the entire room, and there's no instruments, no vocalists here. It's just a faint whistle almost, wisping through the air. All at once, your attention is drawn to a massive ivory throne. Shadows mess with your mind about this throne. It's maybe 60 feet in front of you. You can't tell if there's a figure sitting among the darkness, or it's simply a figment of your rolling imagination in the broiling shadows that sit there. You glance about. It looks safe.
Eerie but safe.
It looks safe, my ass, man. Okay.
Yeah, I just kind of eye the throne and I look at everyone else. I'm like, what are we doing here?
I have no fucking clue where the fuck we are. I
I'm
don't
so
think
confused.
we're supposed to be here.
I think that's a pretty safe assumption.
Yeah.
I could send an arrow flying towards the throne, but I'm not sure if there's something sitting in it or not.
Yeah, probably not. Well, we're here now. Shit.
I will. Man. So there's the throne, and then you said that there's something like a sentinel.
There's a large picture frame above an old, disused fireplace that seems to be watching your every move with its deep shadowy eyes. It looks a lot like Strahd. Of course, your characters don't know who Strahd is. It looks a lot like Strahd.
Does it look familiar? Does it look familiar like anybody we've seen?
It wouldn't look familiar to you now, because it literally is Strahd.
Okay. Interesting. I guess I will slowly, very, very slowly approach the throne to get a better look, maybe.
I'm right behind him.
Okay, you two head across the room. Oh, are you all heading across the room?
No, I said I was gonna watch.
Okay, so Joy, you kind of remain near the entrance. Sure, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay towards the back with her.
Okay. Maverick and Lugos, you begin to step quietly, because you're still being very stealthy, as you head forward across the front. As you're stepping across, something... hairs raise on the back of your neck, very slightly, but before you even have time to do anything about it, you see iron just draw itself up from the flagstones around you, and almost like iron railings immediately wrap themselves, or attempt to wrap themselves around your bodies. As I want you all to make a strength save for me. Line applies to Joy and Kishore as well, who's standing at the entrance. Goes round. Actually,
You're really out here playing this Dark Souls music now, aren't you?
Actually, technically, I need you to make
25.
Okay.
23.
Okay.
Okay.
Joy
Pretty
and
good.
Kishore.
Yeah, this is not gonna go well for me. I have a -1.
I have a -1.
It could have been worse.
Okay.
Sure. Hold on. It's gotta roll these dice. Come on.
Yeah, mine's catching up. Come on.
Yours have appeared. For
Oh,
me.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
They won't appear on Foundry until you tab out and click on Foundry again, then it'll roll.
yeah, I accidentally rolled twice.
That's alright. Hopefully we can take the 15.
Right.
If only.
Only.
Not bad. 12.
Okay. Maverick and Lugos, as this happens to you, you usually are relatively strong, and you manage to fight it off, and you just turn around in time to see the same iron draw itself up from the flagstones around the wrists, ankles, and chest of both Joy and Kishore, as they are held in place and restrained. And there's another blast of magic from the side of the room, as I need Maverick and Lugos to make another strength save for me.
What's happening?
Yikes.
Why
Oh, that
would you make
was a
us do
strength
this?
check.
That would be an 18.
Okay.
I actually rolled a strength check. Should I re-roll or should I just add +3?
Just add whatever your bonus is.
So it'd be a 10.
So it'd be a 10.
Okay. Lugos, unfortunately, as you turn to look at what's happening to your friends, it wraps itself around your wrist and ankles as well, and you are restrained and pulled to your knees on the ground. Maverick, you manage to fight it off still. As you look at what's happening to your friends, the shadows begin to move around you. As figures begin to emerge.
I do not consent to this. I'm screaming
At
in my head.
first, two figures emerge from either side of the room. You see two of them
Draw my
are
sword and I'm
actively
already, like-
using magic. They're all wearing masks, which are like Plague Doctor masks, as if you just remove the nose and replace it with flat leather. As they move closer, holding your friends. Then another two
Leo
emerge,
guys.
holding brutal-looking cultist swords. Then another 6 or so. And another 6. Until there's maybe 20 people dotting the outskirts of this room.
Jesus.
All with blades drawn.
Jesus
You see
Christ.
Are you trying to kill us?
You see as a group of 4 heads towards the back, where Joy and Kishore are restrained. They draw a cultist blade and just put that as a safekeeping measure against the throats of Joy and Kishore, pressing against the skin.
That's uncomfortable.
As you stand there with your sword drawn, Maverick, there's sudden movement on the throne. You turn your head and a shadowy figure steps down. You recognize the gait of this person. This was someone who was at the party bar the spell. So they step from the throne, they glance about you, and they're wearing a very familiar plague mask like the others. Well, where's Aaron then? And you see, as he reaches into his pocket, he draws what looks like a magical object. He throws it onto the floor next to him, and with an arcane just burst of energy, a large figure emerges as Iron Golem takes shape.
Oh shit!
And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Okay.
I am going to be so useless for this fight.
We're gonna die.
You are assuming it's a fight.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't assume it's a fight, because there's 20 people, 3 of you are restrained, and there's an Iron Golem.
True. Yeah, this... Okay, well, fuck, man, this is a cliffhanger and a half.
Yeah.
Okay. It was
Okay,
starting so
I beat all of
nicely.
your restraints. I beat all of your restraints.
That was
I will
impressive.
not fall quarry to your tricks.
Their druids must be very annoyed. They're like, we're casting Entangle so many times. It's not
Like,
being
man.
entangled.
I could have cast Counterspell, but like I need to save these slots.
I mean, did you even know it was a spell, though, you know?
Yeah, at that
you
point,
didn't
it
know
was just
he
like,
was
what?
even happening until too late. Their stealth is insane. Okay.
Damn, I don't know, wait, hold on. They were stealthing?
Yeah.
Well,
Did they roll stealth checks?
yeah, they were kind of had all their hidey spots set up in there. They were designed to get you.
No, I forget, this is not my character with a super high passive perception.
yeah, neither do I. You know,
Nope.
average 14.
This is not, if Victor von Selevich was here, he would have spotted. There's about
If
2
Bartholo-
dozen people, fuckeries in this room.
If Bartholomew Lebeau was here, he would know.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that-
see, Victor would fit in with these people. He is a plague doctor. It's fine.
One
That's
of
a
them
sm-
is named Victor.
Was very all over the place, you know? Meeting a god, going to get a fortune telling, getting blackmailed by a guard. Oh, no. We've wandered into a cult there.
It's one of those things. If Maverick wasn't neutral good or anything
Yeah.
like that, he would take that guard and says, "All right." I would like motion to the orc to lock the door, and I would absolutely beat the ever living fuck out of him until he gets unconscious because nobody
enough.
blackmails me.
But again, with that, this the moving parts of the campaign are becoming a lot more kind of like a game of chess, where multiple parts are moving and you don't necessarily see what's happening.
It's
So-
that scene in The Dark Knight where Commissioner Gordon leaves Batman with Joker in the interrogation room.
You don't start with the head.
Oh, the victim gets all fuzzy. That was a good session, man.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
Enjoyed that.
And as always, of course, thank you for coming to the Spider TED Talk, which was definitely something.
Yes.
Thank you for sponsoring us, Microsoft Paint, to allow those amazing diagrams to be made. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. As always, we hope you have an amazing week. Stay safe, and we'll see you all soon. So, for the next episode of Roundtable, let's see how that ends up. See you soon.
Bye.
Have the strangest feeling to know what to believe in. Cause every time you touch me, I can't control my body. Oh, baby, you are on my mind. All I think about, and I don't wanna stop. I don't wanna stop. Could you come closer to me? I just can't resist you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me. My heart is beating. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me. My heart is beating. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving Baby, you are on my mind. I can't control my body, can't control my body, 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 body. I am stuck in a dreaming.